Alright, can you hear me? Made some adjustments to my microphone, so let me know if the sound is okay today, as well as the video, as usual. Hope you all are doing well. My son HW here to host the first semifinal of the Clan War Cup. This is Clan RTK versus Clan ODM. Two great clans with awesome players, so looking forward to casting this for y'all. Now, let's get that out of the way and go over here to the multiplayer battle lobbies and take a look for our teams. So, Alric Rawl versus Alfredino, Clan War. I'm going to guess that's the one. Let's remove that going live momentarily and get right to it. All right. Hey. Good luck, have fun. Now I'm going to go ahead and get the scoreboard started. This is the Clan War Cup. As a reminder, just so you guys know that the scoreboard will just show the clan names. So conveniently enough, we have ODM Razel already on the other side, making it easy. We'll throw in those little dashes that I know they have in their clan. And then RTK, going to be our other clan. Hey, Black Knight, good to see ya. So, going back to the battlefield here, looks like we have Empire versus Beastmen, and we're going to get right into it. So, blue faction, Beastmen, red faction, Empire. Sure is a grudge match for the Empire. Ever since their barnyard animals went wild with chaos, they've been fighting them ever since. Now, here we go. Hey, there it goes. All right, so it looks like we are cooking with fire. Cooking with gas? I don't fucking know what the saying is. Let's do this. Get you situated in the right position. And here we are. So yeah, looks like we have some ODM support in here and some RTK support. Should have a good active chat as the two clans support their respective clanmates live. Versus LS versus BBB Clan War in an hour 2. Oh, hell yeah. Nice. Yeah, Butcher Bird. 1 3v3, 3 2v2s, and I think 6 or something 1v1s. Yeah, 6 1v1, 3 2v2, 1 3v3. Thanks, Bob Trash. All right, so without further ado, let's get the army blocker off, my ugly mug off the screen, throw up that intro card, and I shall see you all on the battlefield. Come on, intro card, don't fail us now. All right, that'll do. That'll do, pig. Got the Beastmen being brought by ODM. We have Alfredino representing that clan in this battle. And then RTK is the Beastmen. I got it backwards, damn it. So, my apologies. RTK Alric Rawl is the Beastmen, and ODM is the Empire. So, already off to a great start, as we can see. HW being dyslexic. And let's go ahead and fix that. So, Empire, there you at. And here we go. Alfredino, Alric Rawl, two excellent players, so we should have a nice match in store. Going to have Flagellants for the front line. Looks like we have 4 of them. Unbreakable infantry. No armor to speak of, so they are weak to Centigores and arrows. Got Knights of the Blazing Sun, if I'm not mistaken. It looks like we have 4 of these bad boys rip-roaring, ready to go. Then we're going to be seeing 3 Pistoliers. And then we're going to be seeing up in the air a Bright Wizard on a Pegasus. Going to have Fireball, Burning Head. We got Boris Todbringer on top of his Griffin. He's going to have Midland Runefang, the White Cloak of Ulrich, Crush the Weak, and Blood Roar. And I do like to see Boris here. He's underrated lord, and I think his debuffs in particular against the Beastmen are nice, and then you don't need to worry about healing him because he does have that Midland Rune Fang to keep him nice and healthy. For the Beastmen now, we're going to be seeing Ungor Spearman Herd, one on either flank, and then we're going to see 4 Ungor Herd in the center, so Flagellant should have a good time against them as long as they just get one-on-one engagements. But the Beastmen won't make it that easy, I'm sure, because they have Razor Gore in great numbers. Looks like 3 Razor Gore Herd. We have a Tusk Gore Chariot. We're also going to be seeing some Centigores over here with Warhounds going poison. And then we're going to have 2 Centigores with throwing axes, including the ROR here in the back lines right now. Now, for the leadership and flying force, we have Harpies, Feral Manticore, Torox, the Brass Bull, going to be bringing Brass Body, and then we have the Bray Shaman of Wild with Traderkin and Bray Scream. Very, very popular spell combination for the Beastmen armies lately. Now, we'll see which army comes out on top here. I do think, you know, the Empire has the skirmish game in their favor. Those Pistoliers, absolutely wonderful against the Beastmen as long as you stay on top of your micro. And that direct line of fire, they're just so good at skirmishing. Beastmen can't dodge those rounds, and as you can see, doing nice damage against the Harpies already. Beastmen are coming forward now. However, it looks to me like their Razor Gore Herd is a bit too far behind the back line. Going to be seeing the Centigores getting charged. Very nice clean charge from the Knights of the Blazing Sun. It does look like the Ungor Spearman Herd may have been braced, though, because I don't think Boris dived in quickly enough. But now Boris is just going in for it. He's down in combat. He has a lot of cavalry nearby, so I think he's feeling confident that he's going to be okay. Also, Torox the Brass Bull is nowhere nearby at the moment. Does look like the Empire is going to be biding their time, though. They've got the Razor Gore Herd rampaging, so they have no control. They're just charging out after whatever they can, so going to be a nice pickup there for the Empire. Over here, we're going to be seeing Knights of the Blazing Sun getting a very nice couple of charges, one on top of Tuskgore Chariot, the other on top of some Ungor Herd. And it looks like they're going to be pulling themselves out very quickly. So right now, Alfredino on the ODM side here, representing his clan well. Balance of power still in favor of the Beastmen at the moment, though. All 4 Flagellants still full health. Well, I lied to you. This one over here is a little bit hurt. But it does look like Boris and his Knights of the Blazing Sun are doing wonders right now. Flagellants coming in to start supporting these frontline engagements now. And we'll see what happens from there. Earth Dog, thank you for the follow. Now, Torox over here, I feel like he's not really been where he needs to be in this engagement. He's kind of like off in no man's land chasing Cav and different things, and he needs to be headhunting Boris, but, you know, now he's trying to, you know, get regrouped with his forces, but I think he's left a lot of these Beastmen units isolated for far too long, and now he's going to be paying the price because Empire's just been able to get their kind of like pick of the engagements and start pulling this Beastmen army apart. So we'll see what happens. As long as the Empire player stays on top of his micro, I think he does have an advantage here in spite of what the balance of power says. Over here, Manticore getting a terror out. Knights of the Blazing Sun. Flagellants now off by themselves. Torox coming in. And, you know, Flagellants won't win that, but it's also not a good trade, I think, for Torox and the Manticore. Like I say, they need to be trying to eliminate Boris at this point and the cavalry. But once again, Boris, you know, still full health, still running around with impunity, and Torox just hasn't been in a position to threaten him at all this battle. Throwing axes still very high in ammunition, though, still very healthy, and if they, you know, remain on the battlefield throughout the late game, you know, those throwing axes will be vicious against Knights of the Blazing Sun, Boris, anything they need. And Torox is still healthy. That's one thing to keep in mind. Ooh, nice Bray Scream on top of the Flagellants. Torox is going to do a somersault over him just to add insult to injury. And, well, and I guess further injury to injury. The Bray Shaman, though, is getting a bit weak. And I think if the Beastmen make a concerted, I mean, the Empire makes a concerted effort to remove that Bray Shaman, they will be in a pretty strong position here as they go into the late game. Because Traderkin is something the Empire does not want to let happen to him. That would be pretty devastating, I do think. Boris looking like for maybe the first time he's getting into an engagement that I think is kind of out of his favor. The throwing axes are nearby. There's a Feral Manticore nearby, but once again, Boris seeming like he's going to be able to escape, you know, pretty much unscathed. Over here, Traderkin going down on top of the Knights of Blazing Sun, doing some good damage. And the Empire is starting to lose a lot of its troops. Looks like over here, starting to regroup with some of his cavalry, catch his breath. I would honestly say this is a point, just come out here and eliminate these units. You know, don't even worry about this huge pocket of Beastmen anymore. Just extract as much as you can from the scenario and then go eliminate the periphery Beastmen units. But, you know, looks like I'm going to be eating my words here as the Beastmen do continue to crawl ahead in that balance of power. And the Empire is starting to take a lot of casualties on their Knights of the Blazing Sun. However, one of them still almost full health. Still got some flagellants in here. But Boris dove into... Why did he do that? I am very, very perplexed as to why Boris did that. It looks like he's going to get stuck in place on top of the Razor Gore herd, if I'm not mistaken, and now Torox and the Manticore sandwiched him, and that's going to be a GG. I'm wondering what I missed there. You know, maybe there was an opportunity he saw, but I just think that was a huge misplay. Boris did not need to land right there at all. Empire Caster must have landed, or, oh, I guess the Manticore killed him, and I totally missed that, so my apologies, chat. Not my best casting for a battle, because I definitely missed the Empire Wizard being knocked out. Boris coming back, though, regaining some leadership. Pistoliers running amok. Alright, Razor Gore herd getting routed. He still has those 4 Pistoliers. They're running low on ammunition, though. Would like to see them making more of an effort to conserve their ammunition and go after maybe some more important units. Razor Gore herd, or Tuskgore chariots getting charged by Boris and some Pistoliers right now. That is exactly what they need to do. They need to pick up anything they can in the balance of power, and eliminating the chariot will do just that. But it looks like they're going to abandon that chase and now go over here towards the isolated Beastmen infantry. And I don't know. Tough call on what they should do at this point, but perhaps buying as much time as possible for Boris to regenerate will help. Over here, Manticore is looking pretty weak. It's wavering in combat with flagellants right now, not having a good time at all. And so if they can eliminate the Feral Manticore, Beastmen lose terror, and then the Empire will be the only, you know, force with terror on the field, and that could be a game changer. But the path to victory is narrowing for the Empire, I think. But then again, as I say that, the longer he waits, the more balance of power he's going to get, because Boris still has quite a lot of healing to go. Alright, Knights of the Blazing Sun going to get throwing axed now. Pistoliers coming forward. Countercharge from the Knights of the Blazing Sun, going to hit those throwing axes. Going to do some nice damage and should allow him to, you know, get out of combat. Ooh, another nice volley there. Ooh, Pistoliers using their ammunition on Torox. Bold. He does have 130 armor, though, so I'm not sure how much of that damage is going to get through. Yeah, he's using all of his ammunition on top of Torox. He's getting some of the damage through. You know, he's making a dent, and Boris is going to need all the help he can if he's going to try to go toe-to-toe with Torox. Right now, though, Manticore going into combat, I would have been running away with that Manticore if I were the Beastman here, but easier said than done, as always. Throwing Axe is going to take this opportunity to throw some volleys off into Boris, but Boris, I think, just picked up a net win as far as trading goes. You know, he took some axes to the face, but he's got the Manticore routing, he's got the Harpies routing, and that means he will have complete aerial dominance and be the only force of terror on the battlefield if he plays it right. So, like I say, Empire still isn't out of this. But, man, those throwing axes did just do a lot of damage to Boris, bringing him down to 1700 HP. So, that, yeah, might be the nail in the coffin. We'll have to see what happens from here. Pistoliers using another round of ammunition to get that Feral Manticore routing. Over here, Knights of the Blazing Sun hitting into the Ungor herd. Poison Warhounds look like they're trying to go around and get him caught, so Torox and the company can come in here and help out. It looks like they may have been just a tad too slow. Boris now coming into combat. He will debuff all of the melee stats of these Beastmen forces in here, and just like that, Empire picking up another little gain. but will they be able to get Boris out of here before Torox comes in for the kill? And already you can see the Empire cavalry just routing. Pistoliers coming in here, but a Charioteer Kid going down, and that's going to be a GG. Well played. Clan RTK going to get a point on the board after a valiant fight from the Empire. But he can be reasoned with. A nice Black Knight. Man, very well played. RTK going to be pulling out the victory there. I liked the Empire army in play overall. I would recommend less Knights of the Blazing Sun, more Empire Knights, and maybe a grenade launcher. And then also Spearmen, you know, just get the Empire State Troops in here, you know, get the numbers. But I like the style of the army for sure. But yeah, that would be my one point of feedback here from Alfredino's. I would like to see maybe 3 Flagellants and then some Swordsmen and Spearmen, things like that. Maybe the Sigmar Sons, and then Empire Knights are significantly cheaper and can pretty much fulfill the same role here. Whereas like Norsca, you definitely want to bring the fire damage. Beastmen, not so much. Manticore getting some great value. Harpies doing well for themselves too. The throwing axes being used very, very well by our Beastman player here, Alec Rawl. His micro was on point. And really, yeah, I mean, it's just the Empire didn't have enough Flagellants to deal with all of this, and you know, got to give some kudos here too. This was just a well-played Beastman build, and yeah, we'll see what happens from here. But RTK up on the board, 1-0. All right, here we go, round 2. Let's see what we have. All right, ODM Bruce 1990 versus RTK Sorv. So let's update that scoreboard. Looks like we're going to have some Greenskins versus Warriors of Chaos. And here we go. I'm going to go ask them to turn that down ever so slightly. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I sure as hell can. Daughter's having a music party, so I feel like being a Scrooge. And here we go. Round 2 of this Clan War Cup is going to be between ODM Bruce and RTK Sorv. And it's going to be the Greenskins versus the Warriors of Chaos, respectively. Hey, hey. Good to see you, Colomito, Pantalinade, Black Knight, Bob Tresh, Dag of the Net. I will be right back while the players load up. I'm going to go ask them to turn the music down a little bit. Dance party, party of dance. Oh, we got a Greenskin Warrior of Chaos romp. Okay, so starting with our red player this time. Sorry for the delay there. We got Forsaken And some Chaos Marauders, looks like alternating 2 and 2. Then we're going to have some more Chaos Marauders here. It looks like 2 more in the center, bringing it to a total of 4. Going to have Chaos Spawn and Chaos Knights with Lances, these beautiful bastards. Wonderful charge bonus, excellent armor, and they cause fear to boot. We're also going to have some Marauder Horsemen up front as a skirmishing force, along with Warhounds with poison, and it's going to be 2 Marauder Horsemen by the looks of it. Up in the air, we do see a Feral Manticore, and down on the ground, we do see Sartorial, the Everwatcher. He's going to be bringing Plague of Rust and Searing Doom. Now for the Greenskins, strong missile cav force with Mogrebs, Mage Marauders, some Forest Goblin Spider Riders for the poison, and 2 more Wolf Riders. Then we're going to have cav in the back line with Forest Goblin Spider Riders, Orc Boar Boys, and make that Savage Orc Boar Boys. Then we're going to have some Goblins, Orc Boy front line with some Biggins alternated in there, and Goblins to cap it off, and then the same combination on the left flank of those Orc Boar Boys and Savage Orc Boar Boys. For the leadership, Goblin Big Boss, Giant River Troll Hag, and Grom the Punch are going to be coming onto the field and going right after the Forces of Chaos. He's going to have his usual loadout. Same with the Goblin Big Boss. Oh, no, they need stabbing. Interesting. But we will see Spirit Leech on top of that River Troll Hag. First Spirit Leech going down. On top of the Chaos Knights with Lances, I do like that decision. Smart play. And Chaos having a hard time here in the skirmish engagement. Greenskins doing a good job keeping their distance. So we'll have to see what happens here. But I do think the Beastmen need to pull back a little bit, redress their line, because they are getting in a very cattywampus angle here. Looks like he is noticing that as well, starting to pull back some of these units, let his line get formed up. And I don't know. Yeah, we'll see what happens from here. Almost looks like the Chaos Forces are beelining it to the center here with Sartorial and the Feral Manticore. Sartorial going to be pulling through the Orc Boys like nobody's business. He has wonderful mass. Grom the Punch will be chasing him with the Goblin Big Boss, though. Over here, Chaos Knights pulling into the center. See if they're up to anything. Over here, it looks like they're going to do a charge here into the Orc Boar Boy Biggins with the Chaos Spawn and the Warhounds with poison. Everything getting smashed to this engagement. Over here, a Searing Doom going to go down. We'll see what kind of damage it does. If the Greenskins stay there, it could be quite vicious. And ouch, that's going to be a vicious Searing Doom down on top of those guys. Terror kicking in almost immediately. And Chaos Forces pretty much dominating this charge. But the Orc Biggins still holding firm. And the Chaos Knights have taken a lot of damage. Meanwhile, over here on the left flanks, we see the Beastmen forces getting into combat. The Greenskin forces getting into combat with some Chaos Spawn and Chaos Marauders. And right now, Balance of Power dead even, as we can see up here on the Balance of Power. Over here, Manticore, though, getting shut down, and Chaos is going to suffer from that, losing a lot in the Balance of Power as that Manticore shatters. No chance of it coming back whatsoever. Meanwhile, Sartorial is sitting in the middle of this Greenskin hero mosh pit, just having a grand old time, getting smashed from all sides, but he is notoriously slippery, so we'll see if he can get out of here. Right now, Poison Warhounds getting into combat with more Greenskin forces, but they do not have the numbers on their side here. They're going to lose that combat quite handily. And Greenskin starting to pull ahead in a significant way with the Wah popping down, Wah popping out right now. Alright, Sartorial regrouping with his healthy Chaos Knights with Lances. These guys are very, very powerful indeed. Looks like he has some Chaos Marauders coming over this way, trying to refuse this flank, kind of block this flank so he can get something going here on the left side. We'll see if the Forces of Chaos can hang in there long enough, though. Over here, see the Chaos Knights turning around, coming to charge some Forest Goblin Spider Riders. They will be able to get that charge right in the rear, but in turn, we see the Savage Orc Boar Boys diving in with a rear charge of their own, and they have nice charge bonus and good armor piercing. It looks like the Chaos Knights will start to crumble underneath their pressure. This is one of those moments where I feel like Sartorial wishes he had brought a final transmutation to punish this hero block from the Greenskins, but, you know, shoulda, woulda, coulda. It does look like ODM is going to be striking back as Bruce 1990 is mopping up the remainder of Sorb's forces. And yeah, just the Chaos Spawn and Sartorial hanging in there now. Hey, Mihawk. So there we are. We're all tied up, ladies and gentlemen. ODM and RTK both drawing blood in the first 2 rounds here. So hopefully this is going to be the pattern throughout today's Clan War Cup tournament. Always like to see close neck-and-neck matches. Over here, looking at the Greenskin forces, you can see it was just, you know, mixed unit tactics, combined arms, going after him, doing wonders. I like this Greenskin army quite a lot. Sartorial doing good work. I just think he was used a bit too aggressively in the early stages, and the Chaos Forces needed to try to have a more coordinated attack. And that Manticore, unfortunately, did get shut down very, very hard. Not even getting 100 gold value taken out there. So, yeah, a lot of the Chaos Forces here just getting shut down pretty hard, and pretty much none of them returning their investment. So, you know, well played to Sorv. I like the army. I really love the Chaos Knights with Lances. I think people underestimate them, but against Greenskins, if they're microed well, they can be quite a dominant force on the battlefield. But yeah, Bruce just playing it well. Really good job on his kite game. And then the Orc Boar Boy, Savage Orc Boar Boy combo proving to be quite lethal against the Chaos Knights. Watch it on both, Mihawk. No, Twitch is my main venue, but doing it over here on YouTube now too. All right, so I think the 3B... No. Is it the 3B3 up next? Do I join this one? No. Where's round 3? Yeah, turn up the sound of my mic a bit. You got it, man. Let me know if that is better or if I need to do it more. Okay, 3B3 is the end. Thank you, Cyrus. I'm just looking for the next round. Clan War Cup 2B2. Yeah, I think it is the 2v2. I'm glad you liked that answer. Okay, there we go. Oh, wait, there's no spectator slot. I know there's people from the Clan War Cup here listening, so if you wouldn't mind telling these fools to open up that spectator slot. Yeah, Mihawk, yes. Both places now, double the viewers. There we go. Thank you. Thanks, Iris. And thank you for the follow, person whose name I missed. Call HR. Hey, that name makes me chuckle. It's just something I've heard too much in my professional life. Not for myself, I swear. All right, so here it is, round 2. It's going to be a 2v2, and it does look like it's Dark Elves and Beastmen versus Vampire Coast and Empire. So let's use the Dark Elves and the Vampire Coast since we haven't thrown their banners up yet. So Vampire Coast, 3. Is this Vampire Coast or is that my son? Wait, what? Mustard, I doubt it. Siege battles have never... I mean, I guess in the historical ones they were pretty popular, but I don't think siege battles is ever going to really translate to multiplayer. But I hope they prove me wrong. I would love to be proven wrong there. Thanks, Black Knight. All right, let's see it, everybody. Loading up that intro card now. And we have ODM with the Dark Elves versus RTK and the Vampire Coast. The Dark Elves ally will be the Beastmen in this battle, and the Vampire Coast will be allied with the Empire. So, strange bedfellows indeed in this 2v2. Oops, forgot to turn off my camera. Oh, they're High Elves, not Dark Elves? Did I get it wrong again? Well, silly me. High Elves plus Beastmen equals Dark Elves. So far, I've gotten one intro card right today. No mistake was made. Dark Elves are the true masters of Volt 1. He was, but the Flame of Besurion didn't think he was worthy and burned him alive. Made him a full-on Darth Vader, so his mom Marathi, had to put him in a suit of armor for him to live. Yeah, now look at this, just straight up Darth Vader. Anywho, let's get to it, shall we? Starting with our blue team, the High Elves, and the Beastmen, my apologies. Alright, so, Illyrian Reavers, going to be 3 of them for the High Elf Force. I love that. They're some of my favorite light cab in the game. Got 3 Archers, going to have 4 Rangers, and the Pure Main Company, White Lines of Trace. They have Guardian and Armor Sundering on top of them. We're going to have a Mage of Fire with Burning Head and Kindle Flame, and then Alariel the Radiant, Tempest, Earthblood, Foz Protection, and what is this, Shieldstone of Isha? No, Star of Averlorn, and the Shieldstone of Isha. Now, I do believe that wraps up the High Elf Force, so taking a look at the Beastmen, we're going to see 3 Tuskegore Chariots for their frontline infantry. Looks like we're going to have Goreherd, going to have 2 of them, couple Ungorherd, and then 3 Ungor Spearmen, one of which will be the Destroyers of Drakkwald, the Poison Regiment of Renown. Up in the air, we see a Feral Manticore. And then down here, we have a Gorebull with Torox, a Bray Shaman with Traderkin and Bray Scream. Gorebull's going to have nothing on him. And then we have Torox the Brass Bull with Brass Body. And this should be an interesting team-up indeed. Now, for the Empire Vampire Coast Alliance over here in red, going to have Zombie Pirate Deckhand Mobs backed up by 4 bombers, I should say. We got 2 handguns in the back line, some pole arms supporting a mortar. Empire is going to be bringing 2 Hellblaster volley guns. And then we're going to be seeing some Sirens along with the Shade Wraith Deck Gunners, ROR deck guns. Now, for the back line, the Empire will be providing that. We have Spearmen with shields, regular Spearmen. And then we have 3 swords, including... nope, just kidding, that isn't the Swords of Sigmar. We have Empire Knights, 1 and 2 on either flank. And then we have a Royal Altdorf Griffite here in the center, Regiment of Renown, anti-large. These guys are monster killers. We're going to have some Scurvy Durgs in the back line, perhaps looking out for any Vanguard shenanigans. And it does look like that's going to round out this army. We do have a Vampire Fleet Admiral with a pistol in the lore of vampires, Black Perifat, Opal Amulet, Gaze of Nagash, Invocation of Nehek, and Raise Dead. Going to have Bright Wizard with Burning Head and Fireball, and then Marcus Wolfheart here with the Huntsman Snare. And that's going to be it. And the missiles are going down. Ooh, Gaze of Nagash doing some nasty damage to Alariel the Radiant. Marcus Wolfheart continuing to shoot her. Star of Aberlorn having to be popped early here. Alariel recognizing the danger she was in and, you know, popping that ASAP. And now she's going to be doing some dodging, but also trying to stay in her Star of Aberlorn. It looks like she's not in it now. There she goes. Getting some. Hellblaster volley guns, though, are very, very deadly, so especially when you have Shade Wraith Deck Gunner supporting them. Empire and the Vampire Coast have quite a potent combination, but Alariel is notoriously slippery, so maybe focusing on some of the gore bull targets might have been a better play, but nonetheless, still getting a crazy amount of damage done on top of Alariel very, very early. Gaze of Nagash coming in again, and holy hell, why is Gaze of Nagash so crazy good? Alariel the Radiant really feeling the pain now, and she's still going to be getting targeted by the Hellblaster volley guns. Over here in the frontline engagements, you can see Beastmen chariots routing away. The bombers doing a lot of work to the Beastmen infantry right now, and to the High Elf infantry for that matter. And even though they are starting to break through these zombies, it just looks to me like the Vampire Empire line is holding long enough for these bombs to get damage in that they need to. However, more and more mass getting into combat, and it looks like the Beastmen High Elves do have a strong right flank trying to push in here and get into the ooey gooey center of this undead Empire alliance. Bray Scream going down on top of the Sirens, doing some very nice damage, but terror kicking in on some of these High Elf forces. I just don't know. Balance of power in favor of the Empire and the Vampires at the moment, so RTK looking like they may be getting 2 points on the board here unless ODM can get their act together and get something moving here. But right now, Torox the Brass Bull popping Brass Body. He's been getting targeted by the Shade Wraith Deck Gunners and by the Hellblaster volley guns by the looks of it. Looks like a Earthblood is going down, and holy hell, man, these Hellblaster volley guns and the Shade Wraith Deck Gunners doing some nasty, nasty work here. These guys have their line of fire blocked now because their swordsmen are literally sitting in front of the gun. But the other unit of Hellblaster volley guns is firing away, and Torox is going down so quick. Brass Body just barely wore out. Star of Averlorn going in, but now he's routing right out of it. This is crazy. Over here, Fireball going after Alariel. Oh, it's going to miss. We'll see if another Gaze of Nagash is coming down. Pistol from the Vampire Fleet Admiral is active. Over here, Demogryph Knights getting on top of Torox the Brass Bull, and wow. This has been a very, very heavy firepower Empire Vampire Coast build. I guess no surprise there. Both factions known for their good firepower, but static defense is usually not the way to go in this meta, but it looks like it might be working out for him here. Hellblaster volley gun still not firing. Okay, there it goes, finally getting a shot off. Looks like Alariel is doing her best to dodge it. Man. I could still see the Empire and the I could still see the High Elves Beastmen Alliance bringing this back, but it's getting narrow. The path to victory here is getting narrower. However, over here, nice job by the Gore Bull getting in combat with the Vampire Fleet Admiral, and now the Manticore's on top of him, and that could be enough to swing the balance of power significantly there, because this undead force will start to crumble out of existence without their leader. Altdorf Griffites, though, getting a nicer recharge into the Illyrian Reavers, causing terror on a lot of these units. They need to get over here and pin Gore Bull in place. Looks like the Huntsman Snare going to do that for them, though, allowing the Vampire Fleet Admiral to escape and fight another day. Over here, it looks like Bray Shaman of Wild getting terrified, and the Royal Altdorf Griffites charging into these Rangers. Alariel the Radiant still hanging in there. Oh, Shade Wraith Deck Gunner's opening up, though. She is at her healing cap, so she's not going to be doing any healing from here. Throwing down an Earthblood to try to support her troops. Balance of power getting further out of favor now. Hellblaster volley guns appear to both be offline. We'll see if they remount their artillery or not, but right now it looks like the lines are pretty much, well, entangled and mucked up. But over here, do see some Hellblaster volley guns getting approached by the Beastmen. I mean, yeah, at this point it looks like the Empire and the Vampire Coast may have it in the bag. They have this Manticore routing stuck on the ground, perhaps, since they have the Scurvy Dogs on top of it. Over here, Alarielle the Radiant diving into the Vampire Fleet Admiral, going in for combat. A very nice hit from her right there. But there's dogs nearby, Empire Knights, and the Royal Altdorf Griffite. She's in a terror route, and with that, the balance of power is just getting wildly out of favor. Gorbel coming in, might be able to kill the Vampire Fleet Admiral here because Gorbel is a monster, but does look like he's starting to waver. There goes the Traitorkin. Should be doing some good damage. Vampire Fleet Admiral, very low on HP. Only 72 left. It looks like he's going to crumble out of existence right now. But too little too late, I do have to say, because Alarielle the Radiant is over here biting the dust. And that's going to be a GG. RTK pulling in 2 points with that 2v2 victory, so they now lead 3-1. So Torox and just not getting good value there. He got shut down pretty hard. Gorbel getting a lot of value though. Bray Shaman doing okay for himself. Manticore, I mean, their heroes just got really hard countered there. Like the the firepower combination from the Vampire Coast and the Empire was absolutely insane. Don't want to keep beating a dead horse, but you know, holy hell, look at this Vampire Fleet Admiral, 2,500 value with those pistols, and those Gazes of Nagash did a ton of damage. Syrene's not getting a ton of value, but you have to keep in mind they were causing a lot of terror routes there, and that is super, super helpful. Bombers doing well for themselves, especially these guys here. Handguns doing not the best. Shade Wraith Deck Gunners doing some really good work. Scurvy Durgs, 1,300 value, 708, but 124 kills. Some beautiful stuff here from the Vampire Coast. Wolfert getting some good damage. Bright Wizard, not too much. Looks like the fireballs were pretty easily dodged by Alarielle there a couple times. Royal Altdorf Griffites kind of not performing in terms of value to their cost, but I think playing a very key role there once again with the terror routes and just in the late game being able to counter those monstrous single entities. And then, great, looks like my game froze, but I got to see at least one of the... Oh no, I didn't get to see. Damn it. Now I can't get to see what the... Ah! Bummer. I was really excited to see how the Hellblaster volley guns did. Wait. 1 second. Let me check. Dag of the Net. What was... Great end shot, right? Hey guys, don't say cheater unless you're being serious. What's going on? So he was sacrificing chocolates to the dark god? Damn him. Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask. I need to go rename that. Come on, game. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Let's get back to it. All right. CWC. Where is the next match? Yeah, sacrificing chocolates is pretty legal. You leave some Dove chocolates under Satan's pillow. As an offering. Check in here. Let me know if I'm blind and I'm just mixing the next lobby. Okay. That was the 2v2 we just left. All right, cool. Thanks, Vicious Satsuma. But what are you guys thinking? Right now, RTK leading 3-1. We still have two 2v2s and a 3v3 to go, so keep in mind those alone equal 7 points. 4 points for the other two 2v2s and 3 points for the 3v3. But then we still have, 4 more 1v1s to go as well. So a lot of points still on the board to be taken, and it can go out either way. Especially, you know, if this stays close, this might go all the way to the 3v3 being the deciding game. Alright, we'll just keep an eye out for it. There it is. Back tape. I do love these clan wars, if for no other reason than it's nice to just have the games to go back to back to back. Have them all organized. It's quite a lovely change of pace. Now, let's get in here, round 4, and take a look at what's happening. Hey, hey! Got RTK Bob Tresh. Alright. Alright, ODM Raidsel coming in 2nd place, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I need to get him his prize money because he just made a PayPal account. But yeah, he came in 2nd place in the HW Season 8 playoffs. So, big shout out to him. Got $125 going his way. And now he's fighting to get a position in the 8.2 playoffs just so he can make a little bit more money. Lizardmen. Alright. Fun. So it looks like we have Warriors of Chaos versus Lizardmen, ladies and gentlemen. Alrighty. Got it right up there? Yeah, it looks right. I already said good luck, have fun. Yeah, Aldo move for Toronto. It's a fun time. All right, which faction are you more excited about so far? Korn or Sinch? Let me know. I have to say, I'm more of a Sinch guy than a Korn guy, but Korn's pretty dope. All right, let's throw up that intro card and get into the battle. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. It is going to be ODM with the Warriors of Chaos, and this will be Raidsel representing his clan this round. And then we're going to have RTK with the Lizardmen, and it's going to be Bob Tresh representing his clan this round. So, good luck, have fun to both players. The map is Oakenhammer. No, just kidding. This isn't Oakenhammer. This is Karak. Asgal? Karak Asgal or Karak Boofdar. One of the Karaks, I can tell you that much. Yeah, Cornberry just like... Does he even... He doesn't have magic in his army, right? Yeah, he better not in the game. 'Cause that's kind of his thing. I kind of like their Protoss shield faction mechanic. I think that's a interesting mechanic. We'll see how OP it is or not, but they do have very weak melee forces, so having those shields seems like it will be an interesting counterbalance. But enough of my talking. Let's get to the battle. This is round 4, so we're back to red side. Excuse me, everybody. It's that time of morning where I get my morning burps. All right. 3 chameleon skinks going to be up front. Also going to have an ancient salamander supporting them. And do enjoy seeing this little bad boy on the field. We're going to be seeing a elite force of cavalry from the Lizardmen in this build. It looks like we have Horned One Riders. These very expensive, I think 1,500 a pop if memory serves me right. Going to have Skink Cohort with Javelins in the back line. And then up in the air, we are going to be looking at a Skink Chief. Looks like 2 of them to be precise. And then we do have Tenenhuan on top of a Ripper Dactyl, going to be bringing a Feral Manticore summon as well as Whisson's Wild Form. Then we're going to be seeing Stand Your Ground and Arcane Conduit as well. So, very interesting Lizardman army. And for the Forces of Chaos, we're going to have White Warhounds with Poison. Looks like Marauder Horsemasters across the board. We're going to have 4 of them. For the infantry, looks like we have a front line of just a whole lot of Chaos Marauders. Looks like 5 to be precise. Mirror Guard going to be in the back line with the Chaos Sorcerer of Metal, bringing that Plague of Rust. And then Archaon the Everchosen with Cascading Fire Cloak, Burning Head, Slayer of Kings, and Foe Seeker. So, Lizardmen going hard, leaning into the kite battle here with the 3 chameleon skinks, the ancient salamander, and some skink cohorts here too. They can definitely, do a lot of damage if they get their clean volley off with the javelins. So, as of now, we will see what happens. I do think the Lizardmen are going to have their work cut out for them. This is going to be a micro-intensive battle for them, no doubt about it. Warhounds with Poison, though, getting charged by the Horned One Knights, and they're just getting slaughtered. Horned Ones do need to pull back, though, before the infantry gets involved. Otherwise, things may go against them. Up here in the air, though, I did fail to mention the 2 Feral Manticores that the Chaos Forces have brought to the field. They should be quite useful here. Chaos does have the mobility to, I think, counter this kind of kite play, but it's all going to depend on how they play it. Right now, Horned One Knights, or Horned One Riders, looking like they're getting kind of pinned in place, or at least a couple of the models are. Over here, nice engagement for these Horned Ones. Looks like they're going for the Marauder, or the Chaos Chariots now. Fireballs continue to be belched into the Chaos Infantry. One of the Feral Manticores has successfully routed a Skink Chief, and he's going for the kill, I think, trying to get him off the map completely. It looks like he may even be able to get a couple charges off once that charge bonus speed kicks in, but the Pterodon is 90 speed to the Manticore's 85. Balance power, dead even. Over here, Manticore getting into the Horned Ones once again, and yeah, Horned Ones having a hard time. They're getting dragged down slowly but surely. All 3 of them still around, well, 2 of them are down to about a quarter health, though most one of them still around half health, but just doesn't look like there's enough meat on this army. And oh yeah, Archaon's now going after the Ancient Salamander, and there's nothing to stop him. Archaon's gonna have this Salamander for dinner tonight. If he even eats. I'm not really sure if Archaon's a big eater. I got to get the fuck out of here! That was my lizard impersonation. Alrighty. Now, Horned Ones going to be able to play a bit of defense here for the Salamander, but they will die as a result of it. Going to buy him just enough time to get another fireball out, though. And there go the routes, though. Trying to take a look around the battlefield, see what is left for this Lizardman army. And there's not much. Balance of power is definitely against them at the time. And the Lizardmen currently have a summon active. So it means it's even more against them than we think it is at the moment. But Lizardmen are getting a nice pickup here, eliminating the Chaos Sorcerer. I just don't think he's really a win condition for Chaos at this point, since they still have Archaon, who's going to be the main casting power in this Beastman army. Over here, it looks like the Marauder Horsemasters are now coming out to eliminate the remaining Skink Chief, the other one getting routed off the field successfully by that Feral Manticore. And now Skink Chief, it's his turn to get some javelins thrown into him. Oh, the Rampaging Manticore did not go after the Chaos Sorcerer of Metal. That's a huge pain in the ass. And it's going to continue going even further now while it times out. Hey, Mihawk. Good luck with your championship stream. Keep up the good work on your end, too, man. Thanks for tuning in. Over here, Burning Head going through, shattering the remaining skin cohort, and I think Chaos got this in the bag, and ODM is about to get a point on the board in just a moment. So, going to be seeing it go to 2-3 with RTK leading by 1. It's a little extreme, don't you think?
Taste the power of the changer. They are seen. We are blessed by thee. The gods watch. Do not disgrace us.
GG to both players. Bob Tress playing a good game, but, you know, I think just a bit too much micro pressure put on himself there. And the Horned Ones just really didn't pan out. They got dragged down pretty effectively by the Chaos Forces. And this Chaos Army had a lot of mobility. I think that's pretty key to their victory here. It wasn't a slow army at all. It had a lot of chaff, yes. But other than that, this was fast army that could overwhelm this kind of kite build. You have the 4 Horsemasters, Warhounds with Poison, 2 Manticores, 2 Chariots, an Archaon. Like this, the majority of this army is very mobile, which is going to make a kite game much more difficult to pull off. Whereas I think he may have been expecting halberds, things like this. This may have been a Chaos counter build for what you tend to see here. And Chaos does often bring a lot of Chaos halberds, either Chosen or the Warrior variant, because they trade well against most Lizardman infantry, and Lizardmen, you know, they're notorious for the monster game. But yeah, it just didn't pan out this time. So well played to Razel. ODM getting a point on the board. I do love Horsemasters very much, but I think grenade launchers might be my favorite skirmish cav. Hey, and look at that. They already got in here. Wait. I leave now. Because that looks like he was just going to go play a clanmate for fun. Unless ODM Razel is up next. I mean, it was Karak Ungor, by the way. I wonder if that was just the other players getting into it. No, that lobby disappeared now. Cool. New hobby? What do you mean, Hanadins? Oh yeah, new lobby. Oh, Hanedans, my bad. I didn't realize. I thought he was just playing you for fun after that, but I don't see the lobby open. No worries at all, man. We'll get into it. Even these slight delays are nothing compared to regular tournaments, you know, with all the picks and bans and stuff we go through, so. Is it this one? Holy hell, 97 viewers right now. Thank you all so much for being here. 20 on YouTube, 77 on Twitch. Good to have you. Thank you, thank you. Of course, happy to do it. Yeah, I can host right now. Sure thing. Let me know what map I need to update it to, by the way. Getting the slots open for you now. So, Hanedans. Who's your opponent again? Also, we're friends on Steam, aren't we? Can you see the lobby? Charix, nice. Nope, Charix is already in here before I could even invite him. Hey. Alrighty, here we go. Alright, so this is a 1v1, then we're back to a 2v2 in Contente. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Galbaraz is the map. Player just confirmed for me. And if ODM pulls this one off, they're tying at 3-3. And then we're going into another 2v2. And whoever takes that will get a 2-point lead. And then we have another 2 1v1s. And then a 3v3. Or no, a 2v2, then a 3v3. What two clans are on the other side of the Clan War Cup? Yeah, it's VM and... Because I know PE dropped out. 1 second. Hanedans, I'm adding you now, buddy. Hey, Jimarion or Jimmy Oren, thank you for the follow. I'm sorry I butchered your name, but I appreciate it. Now, I need to add him as a friend. Yeah, Hanedans, I just sent you the Steam friend invite. Let me know if you didn't get it. Also, Vicious Assam or anybody who's in the chat, if you could confirm... 1 second, actually I can confirm. It's in the RTK channel, I know that. I think it was Jay Phoenix who told me. It's XMT versus VM for the other semifinal. I don't know why I forgot that. XMT, of course. Of course it's XMT. So yeah, XMT versus VM for the other semifinal. All right, here we go. Is it Norsca versus High Elves? Or what else? Oh, this is sick. Hell yeah. I haven't seen Norsca in forever. The Norsca Wood Elf battle's a sick one. This makes me happy. All right. Woot, woot. Good luck, fun have. May your luck be good, fun have. THT, XMT's try hard game. Hey, Yusubus, welcome to the stream, my friend. THT, XMT affiliate versus VM. Gotcha. So it was kind of like when they did that XMD thing when they were like with Death Before Dishonor. They did XMD. Anyways, hey, Agony Achilles, good to see you too. And sorry, I've been neglecting the chat. Just been kind of distracted getting to all the different battles and talking to the players behind the scenes, but hope you haven't been feeling neglected. And if you have any questions, do let me know. And if I don't answer you, it's more than likely somebody else in the chat will. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Going to throw up that intro card and get into the battle. See you there. Here we have it, ODM handed in with the Norskins taking on RTK Charix and the Wood Elves. This is round 5 of the Clan War Cup. After this, we go into round 6, which is going to be another 2v2. So right now, ODM fighting to get the match, the Clan War match, tied up at 3-3. If they lose this, they will trail 4-2, and then they have to win the 2v2 next time. Otherwise, they will be trailing by 4 points, which will be quite daunting. The one simple, holidays, man. Holidays, and yeah, I'm sure Thanksgiving's coming up. You know, holidays, and you will be able to find a deal for Warhammer that's cheaper than 60. The one simple. Alrighty, so going to our red team, because it is, no, yeah, our blue team again, because it is an odd number. All right, anywho, we got the Norskins, and what a Norscan army we do have. So let's start with the heroes, just because I feel like it, and I feel like they're going to get moved to last. We have a Shaman Sorcerer of Death, a Spirit Leech, and Aspect of the Dread Knight, unless I'm mistaken. Yep. We have a Shaman Sorcerer of Fire with Burning Head, and then we had another person leading the army that I missed, and I'm pretty sure it's Wolfric the Wanderer. He's going to be on foot, interestingly enough. Hunter of Champions and Seafang both going to be on top of him, along with his Disturbing Shield. What a way to go. Now, for the frontline infantry, we're going to have Marauders. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of those bad boys. The Beast of Tashnar, 2 Norscan Ice Wolves. Then we're going to have a skirmishing force with Marauder Horsemasters and Marauder Horsemen. It looks like we are going to be seeing 4 Horsemasters and 2 Horsemen, the maximum legal number of horse skirmishers you can bring with 360 Arc of Fire. Now that rounds out this Norscan army, and I lied, there's 4 Norscan Ice Wolves. I think I only said 2 earlier. This is an interesting army indeed, and I'm curious to see how it does. We got all of the beasts from the north coming in here, but no Skin Wolves, interestingly enough. Usually a popular pick. Deepwood Scouts with Swift Shiver Shards going to be up front, ready to do some skirmish action. Remember, they fire 2 arrows at a time, so shorter range but more damage. They are going to have and Awakening of the Wood, or did I missee that? Yeah, and Awakening of the Wood. And then we have the Sisters of Twilight up here in the air, Conjoined Destiny. They're going to be riding their dragon into battle, and I do love their dragon. It's got some awesome butterfly wings when you look at it from underneath, and quite a cool model. Now, taking a higher level view of the battlefield so we can make sure we get all the action and know what's going on. Norskins pushing forward, keeping their Marauders out front. Some of their skirmishers have taken damage from the Swift Shiver Shards, but not a crazy amount by any stretch of the imagination. I do not like seeing the Sisters of Twilight using their anti-large ammunition on top of the Marauders, though. That is a painful thing to see, to say the least. Alright, going for the Chariots. I do like that decision a lot more. These Chariots will be a pain in the ass for the War Dancers and the Dryads, so take care of them sooner rather than later. But it does look like Sisters of Twilight kind of getting screened out by the Norscan skirmishers. Front lines are now engaging Dryads versus Marauders. That will go to the Dryads, but I don't think it's going to be like a crazy convincing victory. But War Dancers and the Forest Dragon diving in there to try to make the combat more lopsided. Over here, Norscan Ice Wolves diving into combat, getting on top of the Dryads, and then they're going to be pulling out very quickly too. Norskins pushing hard on the left flank, trying to envelop it. Looks like they're not going to worry as much about the other flank. Here, a Burning Head going through, burning some tree Dryads to pieces, making some nice firewood here. Over here, singeing these Dryads, and it actually looks like it may help them win the engagement. Norsca now has a nice hole in the middle here through which they can pour through some Ice Wolves and maybe, envelop these other sides. Meanwhile, on the Norscan left flank, the Wood Elf right, things are going a bit better for the Wood Elves, I would say. Here comes a Sea Fang, though, and this could be devastating. Or it could miss its target a bit, but here come some Norscan Ice Wolves hitting the Wild Riders with shields in the rear. A Burning Head? No, a Penumbral Pendulum coming through now to hit the Norskins, but yeah, it looks like the Terror Route going to kick in, and that is going to be a nice Wood Elf victory there, but will they be able to capitalize it? That remains to be seen. They just don't have enough mobile units to chase him down, I think. Alright, Wood Elves pulling back. Swift Shiver Shards continuing to fire away their double arrows. The Norskins are starting to clean up some Wood Elf units. Over here, got some Norscan Ice Wolves that are a bit idle. I would definitely like to see them pushing around a bit wider, getting onto the flanks and trying to pressure these Deepwood Scouts. Over here, Awakening the Wood going down on top of the Norscan forces. Wild Riders are routing, but it looks like they're going to be able to regroup and get back into this fight. Right now, the balance of power not looking too good for the Norskins, but they're not out of this yet. Wolfric the Wanderer, still full health, still has both casters, and we will see what happens from here. Looks like a Burning Head coming in. Gonna hit those War Dancers, do a decent bit of damage, no doubt about it. And then we have all of the Norscan Ice Wolves coming into combat, one of them hitting the Dryads, the other one coming in for a rear charge against these War Dancers and doing a beautiful job on that charge. Sisters of Twilight kind of getting caught in the middle there while the Ice Wolves eliminated some Dryads and the two War Dancers. So Norsca not out of this yet, but they need to shut down these Swift Shiver Shards because they have so much ammunition, giving so much in the balance of power. And a couple volleys from those guys will just murder anything they target. And so here we see it. Ice Wolves needing to get ahead. Another whiff of the Sea Fang. And yeah, it looks like the Wood Elves are pulling ahead here. The Forest Dragon up in the air. Got the Terror. Wolfric's on the ground. He has nothing to catch it with. And the Swift Shiver Shards still have tons of ammunition left. So doesn't look like the Norskins were able to envelop the line quickly enough and shut down the Wood Elf firepower before they got the damage done.
This was not meant to be.
Hunter of Champions going down on the Branch Wraith. So he's going to get triple teamed here. Ooh. Looks like we may be seeing a breath attack on one of the heroes here. Yeah, no, nobody likes to get breathed on by a dragon. That was some soporific breath. Smells bad, acidic, no fun. But Branch Wraith will go down for the count here. He's routing. I'd be surprised if he gets out of here alive, but then again, I lied because they're going to immediately disengage with him and go after the Sisters of Twilight. I just don't know that they're going to be able to catch her or do anything But Beast of Tashnar and Wolfric and the casters are getting some good damage here on the Dryads, trying to shut them down for good. But once again, Sisters of Twilight, Deepwood Scouts. Both have good ammunition left, and there's no terror on the Norscan side, so I think this is going to be a GG any minute here. Ooh, Seafang got through some of them that time. Actually got through all three, but it wasn't enough to turn the tide of the battle. And the Wood Elves will come out on top there, bringing the score to 4-2. Thank you for the follow, Nevermore. I appreciate you. So RTK leading by 2, and we're heading into the next 2v2, so this is going to be a big moment for ODM. If they can't pull it off here, they're going to be trailing by 4, and that's a daunting prospect. So we'll see how they do in this next round, but so far both of these clans very evenly matched. Some high skill level here from all the players. Do have to say, yes, Swift Shepherd Shards there, along with Sisters of Twilight and the Wild Riders, pulling it in for the Wood Elves in a serious way. Yeah, finish with the bang at least, indeed. All right, everybody, I'm going to take a quick break, go to the bathroom, grab some more beverages, and grab a snack, and then I'll be right back. And we're back. So, going to go ahead and start with our blue team with the Undead Alliance of the Tomb Kings and the Vampire Coast. So, let's see it here. We got Sirens, 2 of them. Got polearms, got some deckhand mobs, more polearms. Gonna have the 4 bombers, or actually 5 bombers. Sick. And a 3rd Siren over here. Looks like the Sirens and the flanks are going to be backed by Nehekar Horsemen and Skeleton Spearmen from the Tomb King side. And then we're going to have some Tomb King skeleton chariots with more skeleton spearmen. Now, other than that, the Tomb Kings will bring in some firepower in the form of 2 Ushabtiath great bows. Got Setri the Imperishable on top of his Chimerian Warsphinx with his usual kit, as well as Count Noctilus on top of his Necrofex Colossus, which is also bringing in its usual kit. Now, that's going to round out these 2 forces by the looks of it, so let's go take a look at the opposing armies, the Bretonnians and the Dark Elves. Now, for this army, or alliance I should say, we have Peasant Mob up front. Looks like we have 4 of them. Bleak Swords backing them up. We're then going to have a healthy number of Peasant Archers. Looks like we have them with Pox Arrows. So 3 with Pox Arrows and 3 regular. And there's going to be 6 of them in total. Going to have 2 Black Orc Corsairs, 2 Reaper Bolt Throwers, and then it looks like we have some Dark Shards as well. 2 of them to be precise, and another Reaper Bolt Thrower. Make that another 2, so we have 4 Reaper Bolt Throwers. Some more Dark Shards and Black Art Corsairs, and I think that rounds out the forces for the most part. Now, in the back line, the Bretonnians are providing some Knights of the Realm to protect the rear. We have Supreme Sorceress of Fire up in the air for the Dark Elf army. We're going to keep an eye on this white line to make sure they don't get too close or anything like that. Supreme Sorceress of Fire will have Burning Head and Fireball. No surprises there. It's a usual loadout. Going to have Knights of the Realm over here on the far left flank, along with Knights of the Lionhearted, Lewin Leoncoeur, or no, just kidding, the Fey Enchantress, a Paladin, and a Damsel of Heavens. Interestingly enough, Damsel of Heavens has Uranus Thunderbolt, Fey Enchantress, Dwellers Below, and Earthblood. So, this rounds out both forces' armies. Let's see who comes out on top. The Peasant Elf Alliance or the Undead Alliance. No, yeah, right here's the questionable bit. You're supposed to have the archers like range distance, which I guess it kind of is. They're just they're getting close to it, so just want to avoid any rule disputes if we can. X marks the spot. Human Boy, yes, yes, is the Dark Elves for the Anticity, representing the coast, and Alfredino representing the Tomb Kings. Yeah, so now they're good. White line has much better distance now from the archers than it did before. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have a firefight ahead of us for sure. But I have to say, 4 Reaper Bolt Throwers has the advantage here against Count Noctilus and 2 Ushabtiath Great Bows, in my opinion. We will see what happens. Count Noctilus not going to get in their range if he can avoid it, though. You can see the white line here representing their range as they're pushing forward. And Count Noctilus, if he's smart, will just stay just out of range. Probably the safest way to go about this at the moment. Yeah, this side of the map, I feel like is underutilized. I can agree with that. Bretonia playing it safe, or patiently here, keeping these Knights of the Lion-Hearted. They do have magical damage, so if they can spring a trap on top of the Sirens, they would get a lot of value really, really quick. But it doesn't look like the Vampire Coast is going to do that, as far as I'm concerned. Looks like the Knights of the Lion-Hearted are going to make their presence known, though. Perhaps accidentally. Knights of the Realm pulling back to run away from the Sirens, and the Nehekara Horsemen. Reaper Bolt Throwers are opening fire. Looks like they're splitting their targeting. Alright, and here it goes. Knights of the Lion-Hearted should smash the Sirens, no problem. They do magic damage, and the Sirens rely on that Earthblood going down to heal up these forces before they take too much damage. But now comes Cetra and some more polearm units to support. Looks like Bretonia is pulling away as quickly as they can. I think they did get some decent trades there. And then as Dwellers below going down, catching a lot of the infantry, and even the Nehekara Horsemen here, slowing them down for a minute and doing some good damage. Over here, Supreme Sorceress of Fire coming over, looking like she might want to support the Bretonians in their fight against Cetra the Imperishable, but I think the Paladin and the Fey Enchantress should be able to handle it as long as they have the cap supporting them. Taking a look at the rest of the battlefield, though, you can see the Dark Elves and the Tomb Kings and the Vampire Coast were very heavy on the right flank, and kind of just been patiently approaching widely from the left flank. They got Skeleton Spears, Nehekara Horsemen, and Sirens. A nice combination of units, if I do say so myself. And yeah, I'm just not sure how this is going to go. Balance of power is still dead even as we speak. Over here, this will be a very important moment, though, and it looks like Cetra the Imperishable should be able to run away. So yeah, there he goes. He's running. And I have to say, the Fey Enchantress and the Paladin here are really far behind enemy lines with no support. Flame of Odin, thank you so much for the follow, man. Really appreciate it. And yeah, right now, Fey Enchantress, the Paladin, nothing here to kill them, but there's just really no value they're gaining by sitting over here in combat with these folks. Over here, Burning Head coming down, though, going to do a lot of damage, but Terror kicking in on top of the Damsel. Now Glamour, thank you for the follow. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Over here, Cetra the Imperishable coming into the back line, getting a terror out. Nicely done there. And he is coming in for the kill. Hey, Tentacle Monster, you the man, man. Thank you. All hail you for that mighty, mighty subscription. Yeah, Bretonian forces, Dark Elf forces, a lot of them routing, as we can see here. Balance of power starting to go over towards the blue side. The Sirens with those terror routes just proving to be very, very useful. And now the Skeleton Chariots also just running amok in the back lines. Bombs are full health, full ammunition, and they are getting up into firing range. And with these zombie bombers, they're just going to decimate all of the infantry in front of them. Does look like we're seeing a very big rout here, just Bretonians and Dark Elves getting pushed back across the line. Their hero squad is still over here on the left flank, just now getting into combat, trying to be a bit more useful, but I have to say, I think this is going towards the Undead Alliance at the moment, and the Bretonians and the Dark Elves have a very narrow path to victory. They have to start making some significant plays, otherwise they're just going to get routed right off the edge of the map. Knights of the Realm, I would remove myself from this situation. You got Nehekara Horsemen and Skeleton Spearmen coming in. That's not a combination you want to be fighting. Okay, meanwhile back here, looks like we are seeing that the Paladin is off fire by his lonesome. A Wraith Storm going to come down. Doing some friendly fire on top of those spears, but also doing some nice damage to the Paladin. The Supreme Sorceress going down, fainting to charge on top of Count Noctilus, but not going to happen. And now the Paladin is routing. Noctilus getting into melee combat with him. Fey Enchantress still doing okay. Supreme Sources of Fire still doing okay. The two shop you got with Great Bows also full ammunition pretty much. One of them pretty weak on health, but it just looks to me that things are really starting to pile up for the Undead Alliance here. They're just pushing everybody back. All of their range units, for the most part, are still online. The Ushabti Great Bows, Noctilus, the Bombers, and I'm anxious to see what the post-battle analysis is of the value of some of these bombs have been. Alright, so we're starting to see some Bretonnian units get reformed up, some the Peasant Bowmen firing in, getting some damage done. Fan just regrouping with some Knights of the Realm, getting into combat here on top of the Bombers. So it does look like they're starting to get a second wind here, maybe pull themselves back into a late game fight. But like I was saying earlier, it's definitely going to be an uphill battle from here. Undead forces don't rout being one of the chief concerns here, but also they're just running out of single entity killing power. So be curious to see if any of these Reaper Bolt throwers were their artillery models destroyed, or did they just dismount? It looks like they may have been destroyed. I'm not seeing their artillery pieces back here anymore. Or maybe they were further up and I'm just not in the right spot. Alright, over here, Fan Chantress getting terror routed at the moment. Ushabti Great Bows shooting down the Bretonnian cavalry, and that's just keeping them from coming back. Peasant Bowmen trying to kill the fire gunnery mob before they can close the gap and throw a volley off. Yeah, balance of power is getting to a point where I think army losses are going to be kicking in any second now. And that's going to be a GG and a tied Clan War Cup as ODM comes back in with this 2v2 victory, tying it up 4-4. I mean, it is Halloween weekend. That's a good point. The Undead had a distinct advantage. But a great game, especially the Imperishable doing some crazy good work. The Chariots, holy hell, look at that. 1,800, 1,700. Like, over 300 kills between the two of them. That was MVP play right there. Noctilus getting some very good value. Sirens, yeah, I think they did, you know, serve their purpose. But look at these bombs. Look at the kills. 109. Some very, very effective bombs there. Supreme Sorceress of Fire doing some good damage, but everything else in here not really doing too much. Reaper Bolt Throwers getting some good value for the most part, paying for themselves. And checking out X marks the spot. We got 2,000 value on the Fae. Paladin not really getting too much value in there. Some of the Knights of the Realm doing very well, and some of the other two not really performing the best. Peasant Bowmen did seem like they got overwhelmed pretty quickly there. I think they just needed some more meaty units in the front line and maybe keeping the hero squad closer to the main force rather than keeping them out there far on the left wing. All right, RTK versus ODM. Let's get into this one. We got another 1v1 for y'all. It is tied 4-4. Now I'm actually going to go take a break. Or, nah, never mind. We'll just keep going strong. No, I need to take a break. I didn't take one last time because they got ready quick. Sweet. It looks like we have Wood Elves versus Beastmen, though, so I will update that before I go. By the way, every match is going to be round 5 now until the final 3v3 because the intro card thing I use does not go above 5 rounds until it goes rounds 1 through 5 and then final round. But anyway, oh, looks like it's actually Greenskins, not the Beastmen. Alrighty then. We have the Wood Elves versus the Greenskins, ODM versus RTK. This is our third round 5, or our second round 5, one of them. Alrighty, so taking a look at our red player this time. We got the Greenskin Skirmish Force, got 6 Missile Cav, 2 Goblin Spider Riders, and 4 Goblin Wolf Rider Archers, 2 Forest Goblin Spider Riders, 3 Orc Boar Chariots. Orc Boys, looks like it's going to be a front line of 4 of them. No, make that 5 Orc Boys. And then we're going to be seeing, I already mentioned them, 2 Stone Trolls. Grom the Paunch will be leading the army. He's on his chariot, as always, because his paunch is too heavy to carry around on foot. He's got the Lucky Banner and the Language of the Boys. And then we have a Night Goblin Shaman with Vindictive Glare and Sneaky Stabbing. So that rounds out the Greenskin forces. And for the Wood Elf army, we are going to be seeing 2 Glade Riders of Spears, make it 4. We have the Hawk Eyes of Drakira and 2 other Way Watchers. So very elite skirmish force. We're then going to be seeing Eternal Guard, looks like 4 of them for the front line, and the Wraiths of the Frozen Heart, ROR Dryads in the back line. And we have the Wild Riders with shields, a Branch Wraith with Earthblood and Awakening of the Wood, and a Glade Lord up in the air, haven't seen you in a while, my lady, with Prey of Anathrema and the Arrow of Kurnos. She will be riding an eagle into the fight. So, 2 forces with strong skirmish potential, minimal infantry, and we'll see who comes out on top. Vindictive Glare doing a touch of damage there to the Glade Lord, not much. So she's going to be in there shooting her ammunition, killing off Orc boys by the looks of it. Shifting targets to the chariots. I do like that. Waystalker is unleashing a volley on top of the Forest Goblin Spider Rider archers, trying to eliminate that poison, I would imagine. And there goes another volley, this time into the Orc boys. Second volley, almost routing the Orc boys. They're down to half health now. Way Watchers will want to be careful with that ammunition, but every volley they have has the potential to eliminate units. Orc boars losing a chariot and most of their health in one volley. And the Wood Elf's off to a good start. Alright, Wood Elf's continuing to pull back or refuse the engagements. I like this choice. Waystalkers continuing to just pick their targets. Pretty much get them down almost half health every target they pick, and I like that they're switching their targets up a lot too. Vindictive Glare on the Glade Lord, doing another nice little bit of damage. Over here, Glade Riders with the beautiful counter charge, hitting the Forest Goblin Spider Riders right before they could get on top of the Way Watchers. Eternal Guard continuing to pull back. And there goes a counter charge into the Glade Riders from some more Forest Goblin Spider Riders, but there are Eternal Guard nearby to intercept, play some defense, act as the blocker, and get out of there. And there goes the first volley into Grom the Paunch. Prey of Anathrema is on top of him at the moment. He is negative missile resistance. Lucky Banner getting popped on top of him now. But here comes the next volley, and Grom the Paunch getting close to routing by the looks of it. Prey of Anathrema did just wear out though, and it looks like he's going to be able to turn around and start to rout, but he's taking some serious firepower right in the ass as he extracts himself from the battle. Over here, Greenskins trying to push further on the right flank. Waystalkers being used very, very well though, and it does look like the Glade Riders and the Wild Riders are moving to mirror their movements. So right now, Greenskins making a desperate attempt to push through the center, and it looks like they're making having some success. Wild Riders are moving in to engage them though. Branch Wraith coming in here on top of the Stone Trolls, but it looks like it did some friendly fire too, but it's allowing the Trolls to get slowed down, pinned in combat against these Wild Riders, while the Waystalkers just shoot everything to pieces. Both Trolls are now routing. In the back line, you see the Waystalkers going in hard, firing at these Wolf Rider archers. And Wild Riders and the Glade Lord and some Glade Riders are coming in the back line, and once again, it's just proving to be ineffective. These guys are getting, you know, bogged down. The Waystalkers are actually no chumps in combat. And now we have the Race of the Frozen Heart Dryads, who have that Frostbite attack, so it slows down everything they attack. So Waystalkers are starting to take some damage now, starting to get compromised. They need to pull back, they need to regroup and try to reform some type of line, but it's not over yet. Greenskins starting to make progress. Waystalkers do seem like they're compromised, and the Orc Chariots just aren't giving anybody a moment to breathe. But Wild Riders coming into the fight, coming into the back line, trying to get some breathing room for the Waystalkers, but also going to be turning around, getting another cycle charge here, and they're pulling through. I'm wondering where they're going to be going. It looks like they're hitting some of these Orc boys in transit. Forest Goblin Spider Riders and some archers and Orc boar chariots all in the fight right now. Wraiths of the Frozen Heart starting to rout, and so are the Greenskin chariots and skirmishers though. Man, what a close fight this is turning out to be. Balance of power is shifting over to the Greenskins at the moment though, and a Wah has just been popped. That Wah going to be a very big boon to the Greenskin efforts, but the balance of power just flip-flopping here. It is dead even. Over here though, Greenskins are losing in this melee combat. Their Orc boys are starting to pour in here, but a lot of them have been kind of blocked off on the approach. And I just don't know which way this battle's going to go, completely honest with you. ODM Loopy. Still playing very, very well. He's having trouble, I think, getting his Way Watchers removed, but it looks like he's starting to get some breathing room over here, maybe. Boom, there go the Orc Boar Chariots. And, you know, he just keeps on eliminating the Greenskin mobility, then he should be able to come back in the late game, surround him, and start firing down. The Waystalkers still have some good ammunition on top of them. Stone Trolls taking a lot of damage, even with their missile resistance. And I think there's still one Prey of Anathrema on the table for the Wood Elves here. Waystalkers, very nice damage every single volley. Alright, Wild Riders, though, have been eliminated. Balance of Power is going hard to our red player now. I just don't see anything else in the Wood Elf army here to really help out. Branch Wraith in combat over here with some Orc boys, but the Wraiths of the Frozen Heart are coming in to support. Over here, it looks like we did see the Flash Bomb go down, but, you know, there's the last of the Way Watchers getting wrapped up, and the Balance of Power at this point is really going against our Wood Elf player here, and it does look like ODM is going to be losing this match. RTK making a nice comeback, not losing composure, and, you know, just really pushing hard in that center engagement, and able to kind of, you know, get the Wood Elf units kind of scattered across the field. But Wood Elf's coming in for one last effort here to pull it back in their favor. Vindictive Glare, direct hit on the Glade Lord, doing some nice damage there. And here it is, Hail Mary for the Wood Elves, going after the Night Goblin Shaman. And Wild Riders going in after the Forest Goblin, Spider Riders, Trolls coming into combat, Eternal Guard coming into counter. Wild Riders with shields do look like they're going to go down for the count here, just taking a ton of damage. But you see some Greenskin units beginning to waver. The Glade Lord will have no problem against the Night Goblin Shaman as long as they are uninterrupted in combat. And we'll see what happens. Earthblood coming down here on top of all of these units. The Trolls still just doing very well. See 9 models on that one. This one has 11 models, so they still have a lot of healing to go. Orc boys are beginning to waver, though. So are the Eternal Guard. This is crazy. Balance of Power starting to get out of hand. Night Goblin Shaman has been shattered, and the Glade Lord is coming over here to support her army in combat. Will she get here in time before they start breaking? Oh, look at that. One of the Stone Trolls is shattered, ladies and gentlemen. One of them is shattered. Seeing a lot of wavering Greenskin units. The Glade Lord looks like she's going to come in here and try to get on top of these Stone Trolls. Look, they have shattered, and suddenly the game is going back to the even middle mark, guys. Can the Wood Elves pull this off? This is absolutely insane. Grom the Paunch in combat with the Glade Lord right now. Branch Wraith 2. And the Hawkeyes of Drakira have come back and are firing away from the side of the battlefield, almost at the white line. And just like that, this battle is flipping around, guys. Can the Wood Elves do this? Trolls were routed, I think, over their 3-time mark, so they did shatter. Grom the Paunch getting charged by the Glade Lord. And the Branch Wraith is in there too, making it 2v1 combat. Branch Wraith gets knocked down for a moment. Glade Lord getting hit pretty hard here. Now she's trying to pull out. Will she be able to? There's Forest Goblin Spider Rider archers on the field, and Grom the Paunch has her number. He's coming. No, it looks like he's going to go ahead and go after the Branch Wraith instead. But look at this. Smoke Bomb getting popped on top of all of these units. The Hawkeyes of Drakira getting one last play down here before they start to waver and rout potentially. Greenskins getting some Orc Boy reinforcements in. That's going to shatter the, or start routing the Eternal Guard. The Branch Wraith is wavering, and so is the Glade Lord. And oh my god, it was almost a Wood Elf comeback, but Grom the Paunch going to hang in there and seal the deal. Leadership debuff of the Hawkeyes doing that. That's a good point, Viking. Thank you for reminding me. That was a very good game. Both of these players just playing a vicious game. The Way Watchers here were just so well used. They got a ton of value down. I like this Wood Elf army quite a lot. It's interesting. Battlesea, thank you so much for the follow. Much appreciated. And yeah, just well played at both of these clans. Their players are just playing at top level right here, top tier, no doubt. Greenskin army, you know, a bit bigger, not like any one unit really shining, I would say, except for maybe those chariots. But they got the job done. They did what they needed to do, and it was a slog, and it probably wasn't the most fun battle for Vicious Atom. I imagine that was quite stressful, but he was able to pull it out in the end. So GG, RTK going up another point. Oh, he didn't get to cast the air. Oh, the arrow of Kurnos was bugged. GG, well played. Yeah, very, very good games there. Let's go ahead and find the next 1v1, and then we'll get into a 2v2, and then we will get to the 3v3, and that will be the end of the Clan War Cup semifinal. So right now, it's any clan's game. It's only a 1-point match at the moment. So Houseplant versus Siphos will be up next. Should be a great match. So if Siphos wins, then it becomes... Oh yeah, the 2v2 would become irrelevant at that point, because if if it's tied up here by Siphos, then it's 5-5, and whoever wins the 2v2, it doesn't really matter, because the 3v3 is after that, and that will decide which clan wins. But if RTK wins this, then it puts a lot of pressure on ODM, because then they need to win the 2v2 and the 3v3, whereas now if they win, the 2v2 is irrelevant. Army block, thank you. Sorry, my apologies, everybody. So here we go. I think it's Beastmen versus Dark Elves, if memory serves me right. So we'll get that up there on the screen and fix it if I turn out to be wrong. Now... All right, here we are. Looks like Houseplant already ready, and I lied. It's Norsca versus Dark Elves, which is sick. So let's get this updated and see which of these factions comes out on top. I think this is a pretty interesting matchup. All right, here we go. The map is Prague, and it is Norsca versus Dark Elves. So I'll see you on the battlefield. Let's throw up that intro card. Get to it. All right, ODM Siphos taking on RTK Houseplant. The map is Prague. Nice green open terrain with a little bit of forest here and there. Alrighty. Yeah, ODM Loopy, I'm sorry that the Air of Kurnos bugged out for you. That is very lame. So, going to our blue player for this round, we're going to see the Norskins. Front line of 5 Marauders. Looks like we're going to have some Marauders with great weapons backing them up in the rear. Now, we are going to have a healthy number of werewolves, aka skin wolves, and we are going to have 4 of them. So, like to see that. Skin Wolf's a very cool unit. Norsca, a very cool faction in general. Got 2 Ice Wolves, 1 on either flank. Then we're going to have 2 Marauder Horsemen, and that will be the same on either flank, bringing it to a total of 4. We're going to have a Shaman Sorcerer of Metal with Final Transmutation, and then we have Wolfric the Wanderer on top of his horse. He is going to be bringing Hunter of Champions and Sea Fang. Now that rounds out the Norscan forces. Let's take a look at the Dark Elves. And looking at the balance of power and the troop count, does look like Norsca's out. Norsca does not outnumber. Oh yeah, does outnumber the Dark Elves and have the edge in the balance of power already. So 3 Scourgerunner Chariots, 3 Dread Spears, 2 Blackguard and Nagron, Sisters of Slaughter, 2 K-Knight Assassins, both of them with the Web of Shadows and 1 with Assassin's Trophy. We're going to have 2 Dark Riders with shields, and then Marathi leading this army on foot. She has the Wand of Carried On for that bound Doom Bolt, and she's also going to be bringing Soul Stealer, Heartrender and the Dark Sword, Enchanting Beauty, and Greater Arcane Conduit. Uh-oh. Sorry, everybody. One sec. Oh, there we go. So here we go. The skirmish battle is on. Scourgerunner Chariots coming out, unleashing their arrows into Norscan Ice Wolves. Looks like they might be going for some Skin Wolf action, too. All right, Scourgerunner Chariots going in for a melee engagement, hitting the Marauders, and then it looks like they're going to turn around as quickly as they can to remove themselves from the engagement before the Norskins can catch up. It does look like the Dark Elves are successfully removing themselves from the combat, and they're going to be getting some good volleys here into all the bunched up Norskins that are chasing them out as well. Web of Shadows, I imagine, may be coming in here pretty soon. But Norskins have abandoned the chase. Ooh, Wolfric getting targeted by the Scourgerunner ammunition now. And they do a lot of damage. It's no joke. By the way, let me know if the sound and everything was okay. I know somebody was mentioning that the mic was a bit quiet a moment ago. So over here, Scourgerunner Chariots coming in for another charge. Beautiful charge, knocking back most of the infantry. And then once again, going to pull back and remove themselves from the engagement before the Norskins can catch up. And so far, Dark Elves playing this very well, playing it cleanly. But the Norskins, still have the numbers, so we'll see what happens from here. Over here, Scourgerunner Chariots coming into combat, turning around as quickly as they can. It does look like they're going to be able to extract themselves once again. The Ice Wolves are trying to come in for the side flank, but it just didn't pan out by the looks of it. Over here, oh no, they didn't even get the Frostbite down. What I would like to see is the Norskins go after these K-Knight Assassins while they're all by their lonesome, but I'm not sure how that would work out. Scourgerunner Chariots continuing to just go out and skirmish away. The Norscan Marauders are starting to make their way into the Dark Elf formation, though. They have a distinct advantage when it comes to infantry. I mean, the Dark Elves have very elite infantry and good infantry, but a couple of good Sea Fangs can change that very quickly. Sisters of Slaughter are going to be dominating these Marauders, though. They are just tailor-made to eliminate this chaff infantry. And the Scourgerunner Chariot still just running amok at the moment. Here comes the first Sea Fang. Going through the Sisters of Slaughter. And the Blackguard and Nagron, not doing the most damage to the Blackguard and Nagron, but still hitting them, but doing a ton of damage to the Sisters of Slaughter. A nice play by Wolfric there. There's the first of 3. So we should see 2 more, and as always, they will be very big deciding factors in how this battle goes. If you can eliminate Blackguard and Nagron and those guys with them, we'll be in a great spot. Over here, Soul Stealer and a Final Transmutation going down. So Final Transmutation upgraded, hitting the Dark Elf forces, while a Soul Stealer and a Web of Shadows is hitting these other forces. And I lied, these were just a Web of Shadows, they weren't a Soul Stealer. So that Final Transmutation doing a ton of work. And look at this. Marathi, I couldn't even see her. She's surrounded by so many Norskins, is getting smashed right now. She's dishing out some damage of her own. She threw down that Soul Stealer, and that is hurting. The Assassin's Trophy is on top of Wulfric, and Wulfric needs to get out of there. The tide is turning against him suddenly. He was in a good spot, but then that Soul Stealer healed Marathi up, and she sent him packing. And here comes the Wand of Caridon. Does that mean the Dark Elf forces here are going to be able to pull this out? Oh, it missed. Did not hit Wulfric. He dodged a bullet there. And now I'm sure his next Seafang is probably about ready to go. But will he have enough to win this? I mean, then I take it back. Skinwolves are still in play. Skinwolves can do very well against all these Dark Riders. And the Scorchrunner Chariots, though, still healthy and still good on ammunition. So I just don't know, Chad. I just don't know. Shaman Sorcerer of Metal probably only's got enough left for one more good Final Transmutation. There goes the Seafang going through Dread Spears and Blackguard of Nagarond. Doing some good damage. Is one of the Blackguard and Nagarond already dead? No, just kidding. They're just way out here getting shot by Marauder Horsemen. Norsca still has the balance of power, but at this point it's anybody's game. Dark Elves still have a lot of their key units for the win conditions. But over here, look at this. Scorchrunner Chariots. I think our Dark Elf player, Sipho's getting caught on his heels a bit there because you do not want to lose these Scorchrunner Chariots at this stage of the battle. Or any stage of the battle, of course. But Soul Stealer coming down here. Kind of awkwardly placed, but I think it was trying to catch Wulfric or some other heroes that may have been in the vicinity. And Skinwolves need to get out of that engagement, I think. Marathi really bringing it back now. I think the Chaos Caster was eliminated. Or no, okay, there he is. He's routing, though. Not sure if he's going to come back. His leadership looks like it's stabilizing, but he only has 190 HP left. Alright, Wulfric chasing down the Scourgerunner Chariots. Norsca just trying to pick up anything they can here. The Canine Assassins, though, with their hand bows are going to be so damn effective and deadly here in this mid-late stage. Got Sisters of Slaughter, Interspersed with Dread Spears and Blackguard and Nagarond, and you still got that hero squad in it, so Dark Elves still in a pretty good spot, in spite of what the balance power says, I think. Especially because we know those Soul Stealers are on the field, and now Norsca has no Final Transmutations to punish the blob from the Dark Elves. Alright, last of the Scourgerunner Chariots has been dealt with. Norskins, taking a look at the Skinwolves, this is going to be significant. 8 models on them, 6 models on them. So they have taken a lot of model damage. These guys have 12 models. So we'll see how much they can regenerate from here. So that's going to be important because got the Skinwolves, got the regeneration. That will make the balance power go further and further against the Dark Elves as time goes on. And the Dark Elves are really low on mobility at the moment. They have Dark Riders over here routing off some Norscan units. But at the moment, all of their infantry is getting surrounded by Marauder Horsemen. And they still have ammunition to throw. Here comes the Doombolt. That one did not miss. Did a lot of damage. Wulfric hanging by a thread. 319 health left. A Soul Stealer will probably be enough to kill him. Alright, Norsca in a very precarious position now because their leadership is gone. And without Wulfric, it's going to be very hard for them to stay in this fight, I think. They still have ammunition. We'll see who they use it on. Looks like they're trying to eliminate the rest of Blackguard and Nagarond. Norscan Ice Wolves being used to eliminate the Sisters of Slaughter. Norsca playing this very smart. Right now we see Marauder Horsemen coming back here. Dark Riders are in a position to come get them. But they would take some javelins to the face first. But they do have those silver shields to help out. Or just kidding, they have bronze shields. Alright, javelins going after Marathi. I would agree with that decision. if you can shoot javelins and kill Marathi, that would be a very nice pickup. But the other big thing I want to see is the Norskins kill the Dark Riders. If the Norskins can get into combat with the Dark Riders away from the rest of the hero squad and eliminate them, that gives them a significant edge because they will be able to choose all of their engagements. But right now, the Dark Elves do have some mobility left, and the Norskins are letting them regroup with the hero squad, and I think that's going to be a fatal error. All right, Ice Wolves rear charging the Dread Spears. Dread Spears are going to start to rout. Another nice little pickup for the Norskins. They got to do that as much as they can, because if they commit to a central engagement, I think they lose. Marathi's Soul Stealer and debuffs are just too strong. And now we see Dark Riders charging these Skin Wolves unopposed. But it looks like they're going to be staying in combat maybe a bit too long. And now there's other Skin Wolves coming in to countercharge them, as well as the Marauder Horsemen. But Soul Stealer could be played right here. There it goes. Marauder Horsemen nicely dodging. Yeah, they got out of it, but the Skin Wolves did not. Those Skin Wolves are going to suffer mightily, and Marathi going to get some health back now, which is going to help that balance of power go right back to dead even, as we just saw. Now it's actually in favor of the Dark Elves for the first time this battle. Now we're going to be seeing everybody diving in, trying to get some kind of full surround in a rout maybe. I just don't think it's going to happen, though. Marathi's leadership is going down a little bit. Norscan's going to be pulling out, trying to go out and back in for another charge, I do believe. These Norscan Skin Wolves are still chasing down some Dark Riders. And yeah, this is so damn close. It's like, even if Norsca eliminates this portion, though, it's like, will that single Blackguard and Nagaround be enough to win? It very may well be, because everything in this army is large. Oh god, I got it backwards. Sorry, everybody. No, they did it wrong. These guys were on the wrong side of the battle when we started, so that's a confusing scoreboard right now. I was confusing myself. ODM was supposed to be on the left side, and in this one it's RTK on the left. There goes another Soul Stealer. And that one caught a lot of the units, so I think that's the GG there. That final Soul Stealer. The Skin Wolves need the Black Rider to Nagaron to rout, and they just are not going to. Leadership picking up for one of the Skin Wolves for a minute there. They're doing their best to hang in. Blackguard and Nagaron look like they may be getting ready to rout. There they go. That's a big pickup. Blackguard and Nagaron are routing. Marathi's leadership is getting low. Does she have another Soul Stealer popped up her sleeve, though? Over here, oh, Norscan's starting to waver. A lot of their units are routing, and some of them shattering just immediately. Turning around to charge back into Marathi and the K-Knight Assassins. The Norscans just, their leadership isn't holding up. And there it goes. Army loss is kicking in. And a GG. ODM Sypho is going to win with the Dark Elves. My apologies again for the confusion there. So ODM will tie it up 5-5 here. But RTK Houseplant and ODM Syphos, I blame them. They're on the opposite sides. Yeah, that was a unit of Blackguard hanging out in the back line. No doubt. I'm guessing this one. I got 52 value. K-Knight Assassins and Marathi doing wonders. And Shaman Sorcerer, that one final transmutation overcast did so much work. Yeah, I mean, it was well played. It was a tough fight. So now we are tied. And that, as Viking pointed out, does make the 2v2 kind of a moot point. Since, you know, no matter what happens in this 2v2, the 3v3 is what's going to decide it. Milfrathi too hot. Norsca's going to handle it. Alrighty, so just looking for the next lobby to open up, and we'll get right into it, chat. ODM Chosen One and RTK, that's really up to you guys. If you want to skip it, I have no problem with that because I understand what you're saying. The 2v2 match at this point is moot because the 3v3 is going to be what decides it. So I'll leave that up to the respective clans. You guys can talk about that. All right. All right, Gambapero. Bob Tress says, how about no? All right, RTK versus ODM. Let's get to it, ladies and gents. Here we are. There we go. All right. High Elves and Dowie. Haven't seen the dwarfs yet today, so we'll use them on the scoreboard. Get some Grom Brindle, the white dwarf action. And we can use the vampire counts, because I don't think we've seen them today yet either. All right, here it is, the second to last match, folks. Get hyped. All right, just waiting on Bard Hammond. So we'll go ahead and throw up that intro card as we're loading into the fight now. So, ladies and gentlemen, the map is Southern Chaos Waste. And we have the Vampire Counts and the Lizardmen against the Dwarfs and the High Elves. You hear some wings flapping. Sounds like Felbats to me. Of course, Pneumothorax. Welcome to the stream and thanks for tuning in, man. Glad you're enjoying the content. Alrighty, so we're back to our red team in order of play. So we're going to see Longbeards with great weapons. We're also just going to see Longbeards. Looks like we're going to have 4 Longbeards and 2 with great weapons. Got the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass here. Our Dwarf Warriors. Iron Drakes with Trollhammer Torpedoes. And let's just get a close look at them because they are super sexy. And now, for the leadership of this Dowie force, we got Thoric Ironbrow on top of his anvil. He's going to be bringing Locus of Power, Rune of Doom, Rune of Steel, and Rune of Slowness. Alrighty, now, for his High Elf companion, Dwarfs also bought 3 cannons. They go boom boom. We have White Lines of Trace up front, 2 Lion Chariots of Trace, which are just awesome. We have 2 Nobles on horses, both of them just going to be coming naked. And then we have Ilariel the Radiant, Star of Averlorn, Tempest, Earthblood, and the Shieldstone of Isha. Got some Rangers back here too, and it looks like that's going to round out these 2 armies. We have Illyrian Reaver Archers in the back as well. Now for the Lizardmen Vampire Count Alliance, we have Chameleon Skinks up front. Got 4 of them by the looks of it. Backing them up, they'll have Skink Cohort with Javelins. Looks like 4 of them, and then a regular Skink Cohort. We also have Zombies backing them up as well for the chaff. Now, a layer back from that, we're going to start seeing a cohort of the Red-Crested Skinks and Skeleton Warriors. Then we also have some Graveguard with great weapons, more Skeleton Warriors, and alternating all down the line until we get the cohort of Sotek down at the far right flank. Up in the air, we do have 3 Fellbats, make that 4. And then we're going to be seeing some Black Knights for the cavalry that the Vampire Counts are bringing. Also in this army, we'll be seeing some Bastiladons with Arcs of Sotek, very popular in the current meta with those snakes coming out of the top of them. Got 2 of them on the field, Oxyotl down on the ground. We have a Skink Priest of Heavens with Uranus Thunderbolt as well as Windblast. And then we have a Necromancer on a Corpse Cart, Gaze Nagash, Forbidden Rod, and then Heinrich Kemmler. Heinrich will be bringing Lord of Undeath, the Summon Krell, Cloak of Mist and Shadows, Undeath Resurgent, Raise Dead, Invocation of Nehek, and the Chaos Tomb Blade. Cannon's opening fire, and the Lizardmen Undead Alliance is going to have to close the distance. They don't have anything to pressure these pointy ear stunties to them, so looks like they are going to recognize that and start pushing forward, and we'll see what happens. I think the Dowie High Elves just going to be content to sit back here and enjoy their 3 cannons while the opposing force closes the distance. Looking at troop count, you do see that the Dwarfs and High Elves are outnumbered over 2 to 1 right now. Almost 3 to 1 to be exact. And yeah, so they're going to have to get a lot of killing done here. Cannons continuing to fire away. Killing off Skink Cohort, among other things. Chameleon Skinks coming forward, getting a nice volley into these Illyrian Reaver Archers. But Lion Chariots of Trace are now aware of their presence, and they're coming out and going to eat them. Eat them and run them over, all at the same time. Beautiful charge, taking them down to almost half health. Nobles and Ilariel also coming into the mix now, as the Lion Chariots just decimate those poor Chameleon Skinks. There they go, turning around now, hitting the zombies, and looks like they're going to be pulling back to the safety of their own lines. And just taking their time. Right now, Illyrian Reaper Archers are firing away at the Fellbats. Very nice unit to do that with. They have the mobility to take them out. Cannons continuing to just decimate the Black Knights. Looks like they're going to get some reprieve going behind the little ridge here, but then they're going to turn around and start running the other way. RTK has eliminated about 150 of the enemy, a little bit more than that now. White lines of trace coming out, decimate some zombies. The zombies are just kind of like way out in front right now. Looks like the rest of the undead Lizardmen Alliance kind of spread out, trying to get regrouped perhaps. Trollhammer torpedoes being used on Fellbats. How about that? Over here, Lion Chariots and the Nobles have come out, and they're continuing to eliminate Chameleon Skinks by the looks of it. Looks like maybe the same unit they were going after last time. They're just finishing them off now. White Lines of Trace coming out here, and this could be a big pickup for the High Elves and the Dwarfs if they can eliminate these Grave Guard while they're isolated, and it looks like they're going to be doing just that. Black Knights are coming into the fight though. White Lines of Cherries getting a nasty charge down the pipe on the Grave Guard, causing them to crumble. Over here, Skeleton Warriors behind the White Lions, but they just don't have a lot of damage output to speak of. More Black Knights coming into the mix now. Nobles doing just fine though for the moment. The Black Knights just don't have a lot of killing power. They're good against infantry. They have a decent charge bonus. But right now it looks like the Dwarfs and the High Elves have a pretty strong position in this engagement. They have the infantry advantage. Laria the Radiant is taking a lot of damage though, so she is going to be removing herself from that combat. And that was some crazy stuff there. Star of Avalorn being popped. She's going to go ahead and stay in it now. And the High Elf force is going to be trying to pull back into it as well. Alright. Meanwhile, over here, you see the Dwarfs are kind of having their own 1v1 match against the undead forces. Longbears with great weapons going up against the zombies, and the Graveguard with great weapons. Fellbats trying to shut down the cannons, but they're hardly buying any time right now. I think the cannons are on guard mode, so they have continued firing in spite of that pesky distraction. Over here, Alariel the Radiant is routing though, and both White Lines of Trace are now, one's routing, the other one looks like he's close to doing so. Has been an overall pretty good engagement for the High Elves on this flank. I think they were able to eliminate most of the two Black Knights and most of that Grave Guard, but they are coming out on the losing end. Looking at the troop count, you can now see that the High Elves and Dwarves have done a good job eliminating over 1,000 of the enemy forces, bringing it down to just about a 2-to-1 disadvantage now. But these White Lines of Trace, or the Lion Chariots of Trace, still full health. Same with the Nobles, and they still have another White Line of Trace back here as well. Lion Chariots coming into the Skink cohort, going to be doing a nice charge down the pipe, getting them both down to half health in one charge, and they're going to be coming further into the back line now, looking like they're trying to kind of regroup around the cannons, make sure everybody's safe. Over here, Heinrich Kemmler getting charged by both of the Nobles. He's going to be summoning Krell. Oh, I'm just kidding, he summoned zombies. I thought that was Krell for some reason. Cannons opening fire on top of the Bastillodons now. Honestly surprised that wasn't done sooner, but I did see that they were getting really nice shots on top of infantry and Black Knights, so can't question the methods there because it does seem to have worked. Over here, it just looks like the Vampire Infantry assault is kind of petering out. Lizardmen still have some healthy red-crested skinks and things like that, but I just don't think the Undead Lizard Alliance is going to be able to win these ground engagements. Over here, though, a huge play. Does look like we're seeing a noble getting terror routed. Krell has been summoned, and the other noble's going to be hightailing it out of there. But look at this. Heinrich Kemmler. Critical binding. I think the cannons are targeting him. And one more good volley, and he could go down for the count. So we will see. It looks like he's zigzagging as best as he can, as quickly as his decrepit bones will allow. So we'll keep an eye on him. We'll try to keep him on screen just so we can see if the cannonballs do come in to finish him off or not. Oh, looks like they've switched targets to the Bastillon off the Ark of Sotek. Another one of them is in the back line with good old Krell. And now the Dowie cannons, at least one of them, are going silent here as the red crest, the king cohort of Sotek shuts them down. 2 cannons still online for the moment. All right, Oxyotl still sitting right here. Oh, the Alariel the Radiant got close to Krell for a minute there, and Krell, with his crazy good weapon strength, just smashed her down. And Oxyotl continuing to shoot her in the back. Over here, Bastillon with the Ark of Sotek is routing. Fantranch is going after it. And Oxyotl actually shot his own Bastillon, or maybe the cannon model there. So Alariel lucking out. Lion Chariots of Trace getting another Earthblood, so they should be close to full health once again. And the Lion Chariots alone, I have faith in to pull it through for the Dwarven High Elf Alliance, but can't count out the Undead yet. We'll see what happens. Heinrich Kemmler is chasing one of the nobles. I imagine he's going to be able to get him off the field. Dwarves getting a nice surround there, eliminating the skinks. Should free up the Trellimer torpedoes to get another volley off into the Bastillon with the solar or with the Ark of Sotek, but we will see. Krell did just time out. That's gonna hurt the balance of power even further. And there it is, Lion Chariots of Trace getting on top of the Bastillon with the Ark of Sotek. They should win that engagement pretty handedly. Rune of Doom going down on top of them, allowing them to cause fear and giving them 24 melee attack. So these guys are all the way up to 61 for melee attack. And the balance power continues to climb against the Lizardmen and the Vampire Counts. In fact, I don't see any Vampire Counts remaining on the field. Oh, just kidding. There's some Graveguard. And that's it. Yep. So just the Lizardmen left on the field, and Oxyotl trying to assassinate his way to victory. We have to say MVP here seems to be the Lion Chariots of Trace as far as I'm concerned. All right, there's the concession. And we're going to see RTK win the 2v2, bringing it to 7-5. Up next, we do have that 3v3, and it'll be winners take all. So it's either going to be 10-5 to RTK or 8-7 to ODM. So do or die for Clan ODM right now. But I guess do or die for both clans. It's match point for either one of them. Oxyotl getting almost 3,000 kills. Another crazy bastard. We then see Greenskins doing okay. Arcs of Sotek, one of them getting shut down pretty hard. Lion Chariots of Trace doing Ulthuan's work. And then checking out the vampires. Looks like a lot of their forces to get shut down pretty hard. You know, not a ton of value here. Necromancer got some good value though. Thoric doing okay. Longbeard's just holding the line and killing zombies. And then the cannons getting some very good value. So great game. Let's get to the 3v3, shall we? All right, ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the final round of the Clan War Cup between ODM and RTK. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you're enjoying the battles. I sure have. And here it is, all on the line for both of these factions. Match point. It all comes down to this. Does look like we're going to have Skaven on one side, so I'll use that for the red faction. And now we are actually on the final round, so it won't say round 5 this time. It will say final round on the intro card. Now, I will be right back, so just stay tuned, and we will get to this final 3v3 battle. It should be absolute madness, and I will probably confuse myself and you as we try to make sense of it. But I will see you on the battlefield in just a moment. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, the final round of today's Clan War Cup. ODM versus RTK. So here we are. We have MP Blue Reach River as the map. And we will go over the faction alliances as soon as the players load in. Get ready for madness. It's a 3v3, so I promise you I will get confused. I will confuse you, and we may not know what's happening until it's over. But I still have a great time watching these 3v3s. And this is the first time we've done one live, so fingers crossed the connection is good and everything works out well. And just a shameless self-plug, if you do enjoy the channel, if you enjoy the competitive aspect of multiplayer in this wonderful game and want to support it, please do follow, subscribe, donate whatever you will. It goes to the prize pools that I fund for my own tournaments. And want to see this scene continue to grow. And a huge shout out to the organizers of this Clan War Cup. I know Clan RTK with Jay Phoenix and Vicious Atsuma were very critical in making this happen. So thank you to them, and thank you for inviting me to this wonderful event. So let's get to it. Over here, starting with our blue team, we have Skaven, Dwarfs, and Bretonia. Now, just kind of going over high level with these armies because it can get a bit hectic. We have Skaven Slaves, 5 regular, 2 Spears, got Clan Rats, 1 Spear, 1 regular, 2 Poison Wind Globadiers, 2 Rat Ogres, got Zap, Chop. Oh yes, yes. Over here, for the rest of the Skaven army, we have the Natty Boo Boo Sharpshooters, 2 Assassins, and a Gracier of Plague on top of a Screaming Bell, or yeah, Screaming Bell. And then we're gonna have Vermintide, Dreaded 13th spell. And looks like that's going to be it. Also have 2 Assassins, both of them with Assassin's Trophy and Rival Hide Talisman. For the Dwarfs, we have Miners. We're also going to be seeing some Longbeards for that immune to Psychology. And then it looks like we have 2 Slayers and 1 Giant Slayer. Ugh, I love Slayers. They're the most fun infantry unit in the game. Other than that, we are going to be seeing a lot of Bretonian Knights. Looks like 4 Knights of the Realm holding down the back line. It got 2 Paladins up in the air on top of Pegasus. 1 with Guardian, so they can both have that. And then we have the Fey Enchantress down here. Chalice of Potions, Favor of the Fey, Arcane Conduit, Dwellers Below, and Earthblood. Dwellers Below and those AoE spells can be quite effective in these big old 3v3 romps because sometimes there's immense blob fights. Over here, got 5 Peasant Mob. And that seems like it kind of rounds out this force. Sorry if I missed anything super important. It does look like we have some cannons from the Dwarf force as well to support this army. But it's only going to be 1 Dwarf cannon and Zap. So that's going to be the firepower here. Now, for our red team, Clan RTK, we are going to have Skaven, Vampire Counts, and the Tomb Kings. So for the Skaven army, Skaven Slave Slingers, looks like we got 5 of them up front. I absolutely adore that. Going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of zombies. We're then going to have 3 Skeleton Spearmen and 2 Skeleton Warriors making up that 3rd line. Backing up all of this chaff, we have Poison Wind Globadiers. Going to have 5 of those units here ready to lob their poison globes over the chaff infantry into the bunched up enemy forces. Now for a 5th line, we do have Skeleton Warriors, 5 of them. And for a 6th line, we have Skaven Slaves. Looks like some Spears and then 3 regular. Now in the back line, well, first on the flanks, we're going to have 2 Fellbats flying there, playing some air defense. Down here in the forest, 3 Ushabti with Great Bows, including in the Chosen of the Gods. We're also going to be looking at some Dire Wolves, 2 Chieftains on top of Bone Breakers. God bless 3v3s. These are fun, and it looks like a good connection so far. Knock on wood. And actually, it's 4 Ushabti with Great Bows to be precise. Got 2 White Kings, both of them going to have Scab Scrath. We're going to have a Gracier of Plague with Dreaded 13th Spell and Vermintide, Warpstone Scroll, Arcane Conduit, and Unholy Clamor. We got a Vargulf here in the forest, and we got Isabella von Karstein down here too with her Blood Chalice. She's just drinking as she fights, filling up her cup whenever she needs to from the Fallen. She's got the Blood Chalice of Bathory. That's a 2,500 HP heal and a plus 36% vigor regeneration. So Ray's dead, Invocation of Nehet going to be on top of her. I like seeing her. She's an underused lord. And I think that covers this main part of it, besides Sesh the Imperishable, who we'll cover in a second. Does look like 2 Wolf Rats and 2 Nehekara Horsemen are going to be on the far left flank, hidden in the forest. Now, leading these armies, we do have a Corpse Cart, Unholy Lonestone, Isabella von Karstein, as I mentioned, Setcher the Imperishable, on top of his Chimerian War Sphinx. He's going to be bringing his usual kit, except Usep's Incantation of Desiccation is also going to be there. Now, Crypt Horrors, how did I miss you, you beautiful bastards? Oh, how I love Crypt Horrors. For the Skaven Leader, I'm looking for him. I feel like I didn't. Oh, no, I did cover the Skaven Leader. I got all of them. All right. Paladin's doing some early scouting. They're going to be able to discover these Nehekar Horsemen and Wolf Rats with Poison very quickly. Always like to see that. Smart team play. Looking at the troop count on the board, you can see we're at just about 65, just over 6,500 total troops. 3,016 on one side, 3,489 on our red team side. So ODM at a slight numbers disadvantage, but at this scale, it's pretty much all even. Hey, Josema, bienvenidos. Por favor, hablas en inglés en el chat. Now, here we go. Bretonia keeping their Knights of the Realm over here too. So far, connection doing okay. We're seeing a little bit of stagger here and there, but when you have 7 people in one battle, that's bound to happen. Man, this is nerve-wracking. Both sides just kind of working up into position. But these are massive armies we're looking at here, chat. Absolutely massive. And as far as team battles go, very varied. Skaven is the only faction the two sides have in common. Because we got, what, Bretonian Dwarfs over here instead of Vampire Counts and Tomb Kings. Alright, Paladins continue to scout the forest for their forces. Imagine their Knights of the Realm will probably want to pull out in the near future. But Ushapti and the Nehekar Horsemen actually look like they're pulling back, letting the infantry get forward a bit. Ikit-Zap and the cannon from the Dowie. I mean, honestly, on the draw here, they kind of lucked out. Like they're not up against any artillery. The Ushapti's great bows have significantly less range than them, so the artillery for our blue team, ODM, should actually have kind of free reign in the early stages of this battle as long as they can stay active. Thank you, Josema. I appreciate it. Where are you from? I feel like I know that because you're... And let me know if you're new to the chat, but I recognize the name. And I can't recall where you're from. Anywho, Ushapti Greatbow is pushing forward, screening out the Paladins. They are hidden here in the forest. Looks like the Red Alliance keeping a lot of their important units here in the woods away from the artillery. And I think what they're going to try to do is either get units in the forest and just push through it and stay hidden, or more than likely they're just going to like get most of their army either in the forest or on the other side here. Because even being on the other side of the forest provides you a ton of protection. You don't need to be hidden to avoid cannonballs and warp lightning rounds. You just need a forest between you and the artillery piece. So right now, very patient play here from the red team as they're just kind of like pushing very hard left and kind of refusing the right flank engagement. Meanwhile, also very patient play from ODM here. They have the advantage in terms of range power right now, so what they need to do is just stay out of range, which they didn't do in this case, and are going to be suffering some casualties as a result. Looks like 7 Knights of the Realm will be killed, and only 6 horses though. This little guy's going to be running away to safety. Best of luck, my friend. May the Fae bless you. Man, oh, so epic. So many troops on the field. Looking here, see, both teams have taken minimal casualties so far. But it does look like our blue team is now going to pivot left a bit and redress their army this way, because they don't want to, you know, kind of be facing this way, only to have our red player, you know, come through the forest. So just like the red players are refusing his right flank, our blue team is also refusing their right flank. They're just wheeling it around here, repositioning, going to use this terrain feature to anchor their left flank, which I like a lot. If you ever can, it's good to anchor off a flank with a natural feature, so you don't need to sacrifice troops to protect it. You can send them elsewhere. Looks like our red team is going to be just kind of pushing straight forward now. Looks like for the most part, if you take a higher level view of the battlefield here, they've already kind of like pivoted to match our blue team. So big map, a lot of room to maneuver, and this is match point. Like, whoever wins this takes it and goes to the Clan War Cup final. So I think what we're going to see here is very cautious play from both teams. Yeah, no, I mean, it's a slow start, guys, but you got to keep in mind, this is for money. These are the semifinals, and these guys aren't just 3v3ing for memes. They're 3v3ing to make it to the final or to get sent home right now. So, we shall see. It's meaningless, though. I would disagree highly. I think in battle, choosing your terrain is one of the most critical factors in success. Like, being able to choose your terrain throughout history has been one of the most decisive factors in every single fight. So right now we're just seeing that in a video game. We're just seeing 2 armies that don't want to lose, and they're fighting it how they think would be best to not lose. So right now, red team decided to move through the forest to close the gap. Blue team countered by just kind of backing away, continuing to shoot cannonballs at them. But red team in the near future does need to fulfill the attacking role, but right now they clearly are maneuvering. They're not like draw kiting or anything. They're just 3 people, over 3,000 troops. That's a lot of people to organize. And another very important factor in battle is formation. So if you just rush in there all half-cocked, then you're liable to die. Yeah, if you guys watch the replay, skip right through it, because I will admit that it's not the most fun thing to watch right now. But in any case, I'm going to ignore the chat and go right back to the battle now, because I'm going to commentate, you know? That's what I got to do. Got to make the unexciting exciting. So, here we go. Tomb King's pushing through the forest. I mean, I have to say, the red team has done this with a great sense of alacrity, pushed through pretty much all the way through the forest at this point, or chasing out the Knights of the Realm. But if I were to give my honest opinion, I would say the blue team should push forward a little bit and maybe try to get an engagement with this very extended right side. Well, I guess the red team's left side, but the blue team's right side. If they could somehow isolate some of these units, cut them off, and get some, you know, kills, even if it's just Nekar horsemen, you know, nothing is low value in this match. Just go ahead and try to pick off some units early on, because the red team is really strung out. I mean, we have to keep in mind, blue team cannot see that all of these units that have the little eye symbol, all of them are hidden. But yeah, I'm not sure if that's playing a role here and why they aren't maybe taking the opportunity, because right now our red team is, I think, has lost their formation. They're disorganized and vulnerable, but looks like ODM going to play it safe and just continue to lean back on their artillery muscle so they don't need to make any unnecessary sacrifices. Yeah, get drunk and watch at the same time. I do forget it's the nighttime for you Europeans, so this is the last battle. Hang in there for a little bit more, then you can go get Halloween drunk, and I hope you have a wonderful time doing so. Yeah, Paladin just continuing to scout. If there was one critique I would give to both armies is there's not... I mean, and 3v3s are different, you know? 3v3s are just a different ball game entirely. But I would like to see, like, some more skirmishing forces from both teams, because right now I don't see either team utilizing any, like, skirmishing forces to harry the opponent on the approach. They just are both staying super tight-packed and waiting. Oh, you don't celebrate Halloween? That's right. Europeans. Do you or don't you? Or is it a country-by-country thing? This is the last game, yeah. This is the 3v3 that settles it all. I do have to say I'm at least happy that it got to a point where it's like the last battle was actually important, because for the Clan War Cups I've cast before, the battles, like the matches were pretty much settled before it got to the final round, because like one team had more points and it was like an insurmountable lead. So it is cool that we are seeing here a true tiebreaker. Shadoko. Welcome to the chat, my friend. This is getting a bit excessive. Okay, it looks like have they finally gotten to the position they want. This is their angle of attack. That's pretty awesome. So just for reference, everybody, the Red Army started here. Man, this is really killing my frame rate, ain't it? Started here and play the Benny Hill music. Just kind of crept around. Here, let's turn the forest back on so you can just see. They're just like, I'm gonna walk through the forest. And then they walked and 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 they walked. And now they are on the exact opposite side of the battlefield. That's our mini map there. We'll show. Yeah, they walked, I think, so they're all fresh and strong binding still. Yeah, they did leave one direwolf back here. I don't think it was forgotten, but if it wasn't, they, they should, maybe start trying to approach a little closer in the forest or something. But here it goes. Now that the missiles are flying, get ready for the frame rates to drop, and you're going to have Pixelated Warhammer brought to you by my son HW. This is possibly the best animation in the game. Maybe like top 3 for sure. Like it's just his little scurrying rat feet to stay on the bell. Like That and maybe Warzag dancing. That's pretty great. Okay. Here they go. The approach has begun. Yeah, that was a weird one. I don't know if I agree with that decision. I don't think it gave them any tactical advantage, to be honest. Because at the end of the day, the opposing team still has their left flank anchored by a terrain feature, and they still have a forest to their right side. So, yeah, I don't know. Alright, and here comes the missile fire. Holy hell. My computer is going to take flight and explode by the sound of it. In come the zombies. And finally the battle lines look like they may be coming out to meet. So, Scurvy Dog, or the Direwolves in the back, are not doing anything at the moment. They are still just hanging out. Over here, we are going to be seeing Bretonnians send out some of their shot cavalry here. The Knights of the Realm looking like they're trying to get down and dirty into the action. A Grell Relique that I completely forgot to mention in the early stage is in the front line with all the peasant chaff. I like that a lot. Poison Wing Globadiers getting attacked by skeleton horsemen, but they have good armor up at 100, so they should be able to outlast those skeletons in the long run. Bretonnian Knights pulling back. There goes the first scorch of many, I am sure. And the action has officially begun. And like I said, pixelated Warhammer with your favorite son, HW. But the 3v3 is underway. Both teams opening fire with everything they got. But let's take a look here from the center line and move over to the right flank, where it does look like the Bretonnians and the dwarfs are winning against the Tomb King assault. There's only some skeleton warriors over here that I can see. I'm not sure what else was here and if they just won it very dominantly, but at the moment it does seem like the red team's attack is being stalled pretty successfully with all of the blue team's chaff. ODM team right now having some good combinations. The miners with blasting charges now coming up, and you can just see the damage they're doing. It's quite serious indeed. Warp Lightning Cannon continuing to fire away at the Ushapti with Great Bows. The Chosen of the God Ushapti almost eliminated completely, down to just 5 models, and they are crumbling. And Natty Boo Boo Sharpshooters over here going to be firing away too. But holy hell, look at this. The Ushapti with Great Bows have successfully routed the Gracier, and they may be able to kill him. He only has 560 HP left, and that's no small loss. You don't want to lose the Skaven leader because they are just a well-known low leadership faction, so losing that lord, if he gets killed right now, implies that army-wide penalty. Warp Lightning Cannon continuing to fire away through Ushapti. Gonna see a Clan Rat summon. Ooh, that's a dirty one. It got right behind these Knights of the Realm, so they are as good as dead, pinned between Crypt Horrors and Clan Rats. And this is just a cacophony of madness. Madness, I tell you. The Paladins and the Fae running around, going back towards the back line by the looks of it. You can see some Peasant Bowmen getting killed by Wolf Rats with poison, but Knights of the Realm getting a very nice counter charge on top of said Wolf Rats. Checking back in on the right flank, it's really not much going on over here. Do see Dragonback Slayers tied up on Skeleton Warriors, and I am just baffled by that. But they're going to win the combat, but more so it's like I don't know why they aren't over here, you know, chasing down Shoppy Greatbows or Bargolfs and Heroes. But looking at the balance of power, still dead even, chat. And as far as troop counts go, both of them armies are dropping like flies. It's actually quite comical how at the rate which people are dying in this battle. I would never say that about a real battle, by the way. Anywho, Natty Boo Boo Sharpshooters continuing to just fire unopposed. Looks like the Warp Lightning Cannon is about to get compromised, maybe, as we have the Bone Breakers coming into the mix, and it looks like we're going to be seeing a Clan Rat summon coming down once again. Taking a higher level view, I was wanting to see if the Skaven leader for our blue team died, and I think he did. I don't see him anywhere here, and it looks like the Dire Wolves are here in the back line, and maybe they're going to be quite pivotal here, because they could be keen just routing all of these units. They need to be used to keep all of these routing units running. And I think they actually might have killed the Gracier. I'm not sure. I don't want to, you know, be throwing around hearsay, but if I had to guess, those rear deployed direwolves that never moved actually came in and killed the Skaven Lord. Balance of power is actually shifting to red now. RTK clan looking like they're in a pretty strong position, and over here we're going to be seeing both paladins on the ground in a very precarious position with the Fey Enchantress. Chalice of Potions is coming down, but I don't know if that's going to be enough to like change anything for them, unless it allows the Fey and the paladins to run away. But right now, Isabella von Karstein diving into combat as well. Both of her White Kings, Setzer the Imperishable, the Gracier of Plague, everybody is in here. And it looks like ODM is on their heels, ladies and gentlemen. That is a very bad engagement. A lot of important units in there, but the Fey Enchantress miraculously able to extract herself from that combat. So the Paladins may go down, but the Fey Enchantress will live to fight another day as of now. Scorch going through the Miners and some Slayers. The Dragonback Slayers are now in the building, and the Dwarfs are rushing into the back line here, trying to get on top of the Ushapti. And it looks like the Slayers are going to be diving into this big blob of combat where they are sorely needed. These Slayers may be enough to turn the tide of this fight, because the Cryptors, everything in this blob is not going to want to fight Slayers. The zombies won't do crap against them. The Cryptors are going to melt against them. Same with the Corpse Cart. So right now, this is the chance for ODM to come back, maybe claw their way back into this engagement with RTK. Going to be seeing another Clan Rat summon coming down as some Slayers are engaged with the Gracier of Plague. But holy hell, Ushapti with Great Bows still firing away in the back lines. More Skaven slaves coming out to try to clog up the Dwarven infantry. It looks like Isabella von Karstein coming out here to kill the Grail Relic, but now the Natty Boo Boo Sharpshooters are opening fire on her, so she's going to have to start dancing to dodge that incoming fire. Oh, nice big hit from Isabella, destroyed the Grail Relic, and now the Natty Boo Boo Sharpshooters have shifted their focus to the Chosen of the Gods. Slayers getting whittled down by Sling Stones and Ushapti with Great Bows. Paladin coming out to charge Isabella. She's not a chump in combat, but we'll see if he can get a good charge. Right now she's not counter-charging him or anything, but it looks like he is getting pinned in place by Skaven Slave Slingers, so he's going to try to take off now. Balance of power continuing to crawl in favor of RTK, though. Here in the back line, Fey Enchantress getting smashed by Setzer the Imperishable and a Vargolf, and both of the chieftains on their Bone Breakers are back here as well. This is looking rough. Thoric Ironbrow getting some nice hits off against Setzer. One Grail Relic is here, but it's routing. That would be very, very key if it could be healed up, get back into this engagement. But the Fey Enchantress, the healer of this army, is routing, and she may be going down for the count completely. Will she? Oh my goodness, she only has 471 HP remaining. Chalice of Potions going down in the middle of nowhere. Oh, unless that was on top of some Slayers, in which case, nice job, and I just missed it. But, yeah, it looks like RTK is getting to that point of no return in the balance of power, and I think army losses are going to kick in for our ODM clan any moment now. And so it may be a clear victory for Clan RTK as they won both the 2v2 and the final 3v3. A huge shout out to both of these clans. Very well played games, excellent performance across the board. A huge shout out to Vicious Satsuma, Jay Phoenix, and all the other organizers of the Clan War Cup. And of course, a huge congratulations to Clan RTK for this victory. They are headed to the finals to fight for the prize, and that was some excellent gameplay from both teams. So, ODM, you know them, you love them. They're one of the strongest clans in the multiplayer community, one of the most well-known clans, but they will be sent home from here. And RTK going on to face the champions between XMT, or whatever the hell they call themselves currently, and VM. Yeah, great games across the board. That was awesome. Very, very, very fun games. Fanchantress and her Paladins doing some good work, you know. Knights of the Realm, looks like they were able to get some decent value there. Thoric doing well for himself. The Slayers doing okay, but like I say, a lot of kills, but they were just in bad engagements in my opinion. These guys got a lot of value though. Cannon doing well for itself. Here, Igazazap definitely paying for itself. Same with the Natty Boo Boo Sharpshooters, and then some. Excuse me. But yeah, let's go ahead and check out the winning combination here. Such an imperishable 2,000 value. Going to see these Ushabti with great bows, I'm sure. Some of them got very good value, yeah. Between the four of them, about 4,000 value. And then coming down here to Vicious Satsuma, you know, some very good work. The Bone Breakers, look at that, 1,600, 2,000. Bone Breakers just running around and smashing everybody like it was nobody's business. An abundance of these Poison Wind Globdeers, and they definitely did some crazy work. A couple of them getting shut down, but then you see that one paying for itself twice. I love the Skaven Slave Slings. And yeah, just very well put together army. Isabella probably there more for the heals than for the combat value. But yeah, just wonderful series. Thank you so much to everybody involved with this. I'll throw on the camera to say goodbye to all you lovely people. Yeah, go get drunk, everybody. Hosama, go get drunk. You've earned it. You've lasted throughout my stream. It was only a 3-hour stream today, which is much better than the 8-hour stream I had last week. So thank you all for tuning in. You guys are truly the best. Iron Thunder, my wonderful admin, thank you so much for everything you do. Same to you, Romulan Dog, my boy. And everybody, take care of yourselves. Make sure you've joined the Discord. Follow the stream on Twitch, YouTube, whatever you prefer. And yeah, feel free to donate to those prize pools if you are so inclined. But on that note, I'm going to go eat some lunch and do something physical because I've been sitting in a chair for too long. I encourage you to do the same. But yeah, take care of yourselves. My son HW signing out, and I'll see you on the battlefield. Take care, everyone. Thank you, Dagger, for the nut. You the man. Appreciate it, Dag.